Hello and welcome to the 2025 UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup season. We've got 5 events this year, but we're starting as always in Cheongsong, South Korea. This structure has become the place where we start the UIAA season, and we're going to be coming back for the next 5 years. It's enormous. There's room for 4 big routes that go up the curving walls, ice barrels hanging off, the speed wall in the middle, and what's kind of cool about this place is there's an actual ice curtain waterfall thing behind me. This whole area is a winter sports destination, so it means that you can come and have a ski, have an ice climb, and of course watch our athletes on the wall itself. Before we kick off though, here's a reminder of what happened last season. For the women's lead, the overall title was won by Woonshun Shin, who started things off with a gold medal here, so one to watch. Her teammate Lee Young-gyun also won the overall and a gold medal, so 2 athletes for the home crowd to cheer for. The new season means a fresh start for everyone, and the athletes have been training hard during the off-season, hours of blood, sweat and tears in the gym for just a few minutes of action on the wall. It's going to be intense. Hello and welcome back to the second day of competition here in Korea. My name is Matt Groom and I'm joined in the commentary box by Tabitha O'Carroll. Tabitha, welcome. Tell us a bit about who you are.
I'm Tabitha O'Carroll and I compete for Great Britain, and we're here today in Korea to watch the semi-finals, so I'm very excited.
I'm really excited to have you here because you are one of the athletes who are up and coming through the circuit. You're just 15 years old.
Yeah. So
wow, and your first World Cup here?
My first World Cup, so it's very intimidating, but I'm happy with how I performed yesterday, so it's amazing.
Well, it is fantastic to have you. We're already underway here, the action getting going quickly. On the left-hand side of your screen, we have the women's semi-finals, and Woo Hwa Jeong is underway. And then on the right, Mehdi Manoz for the men. Tabitha, we had a chat about these routes. Just briefly, tell me a bit about them from what you've seen. The men's on the right, certainly much longer than the women's.
Yeah, much. I'd say that the women's, it looks like it'll be quite pumpy. The men's route also looks quite pumpy because of not just the route but the rope drag they'll have at the top. I think they go quite high up on the wall, so I think it'll be fun to see who's going to shine and who's going to maybe have a bad day in the finals today.
Absolutely. I was watching Mehdi there, a little bit rushed through that box section.
Yeah.
Hasn't quite settled into the route yet from what it looks like.
He climbed very well yesterday, so I think he'll do well on this route. And she's climbing quite slow, but she's got quite good technique, so she looks very steady on the wall.
Yeah, I went and had a look at those holds early in the morning, and the first kind of 5 or so are those horrible metal Korean holds we see with very little friction or like edges to them. I think you've got to be careful through the bottom.
Definitely. It's one thing to time out, but I don't think anyone is hoping that they'll fall off, so it's good to be careful near the bottom section just to make sure that you're not going to ping low, essentially.
Absolutely. The women have 6.5 minutes to complete their route, the men 7 minutes, and Mehdi climbing very quickly at the moment. And this is the section we both were thinking through the ice boxes that might cause a few problems.
Yeah, so not only I think the rope drag will be quite terrible at this point, I think that, well, he looks quite stable on these barrels. He looks quite confident. I think in France they have quite a lot of ice, so he might be quite experienced at using the ice and stuff. She's doing quite well. I mean, she looks very confident on all the holds, and I don't think she's stopped moving for quite a while. So
I agree. And this women's route really quite intense in terms of the movement. She just matched that hold underneath the black volume. We get a great shot here as Mehdi comes horizontal through the barrels.
Yeah. He doesn't look like he's struggling too much. I think it might be the clips that the men will struggle most with on these routes. But the women have got quite a lot of, it looks like, I don't know if they're resin or metal, but they all look, I think that's her got quite a good hold now. She'll be happy to relax on that one.
Yeah, perhaps a moment to pause for her. I think it's a mix of resin and metal, depending. And she doesn't actually hang around for that long. And now a big move out left towards a metal hold on that volume. And that's a long way, and feet very low for her at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, this hold might be a bit too sketchy for her to want to get her feet high. I noticed that some of the holds in the qualifiers might have been, a lot of people were being very steady on them and going quite low on them so they wouldn't ping. But Mehdi looks very confident. He looks like he's...
Yeah, he now drops those feet down, tries to kick it into the wall, generates a bit of swing, and no, he falls, loses an axe. Driving those crampon points into the wall on a swing like that, you've got to have so much power to come in.
It's amazing. I was watching some of the Koreans yesterday, and the way they do it so effortlessly is just, it's amazing. They're all so strong. All the athletes here are very strong, but having that type of, core and, leg strength is just, it's very impressive.
It is indeed. Well, Mehdi will call it a day for his semi-final. Obviously, we have no idea if that's enough at the moment. Only 8 athletes will make it through to the next round out of the 16 that have qualified for the semi-finals. We can see our leaderboard now on the left of the screen, and we're watching Hwa Jung-woon, who's got a score of 15. Each hold has a numerical number added to it, and a big slip there. First time we've seen her really struggle.
Oh, no. She looks like she's trying. I think she looks quite composed at the moment, but she saved that quite well. Sometimes I've seen quite a few foot slips where people can't save them, and then they just kind of hang, and the endurance part of it can be quite
slide down the wall. Yes. And the thing is, she's got to go to a very small hold next to the wall, so accuracy is really important here, which is harder when you're pumped.
Definitely, but she's looking very good. I don't think she looks too pumped. I think these ice battles will take it out of some of the people quite a bit.
Yes, and the ice conditions are interesting every time we do a World Cup like this. We'll talk more about that in the middle, but it's been very cold, which means that those ice barrels won't drip. I remember last year the athletes getting soaking wet because it was warm. Yeah, not very nice. But this clip causing problems now as she tries to get it in. This is so hard to watch. Okay, so it's in. And another footstep. That left foot, not comfortable.
I did notice some of when you kick quite hard in this wood and then you kick your other foot quite hard, it does have a tendency to pop out. So having, knowing the wood, I assume it's quite a big advantage. Oh, a bit of a spin.
Yeah, spin, and she's got to be careful not to get tangled up in the rope here.
Also, you can see her axe against the ice. It might be quite hard for her to match on short handle without jamming her hand on the ice, which could be a struggle. So.
Yeah, it was a good spot.
There she goes.
All right, so she skips a hold, reaches over, and then loses those feet. I think maybe getting a bit pumped out on that.
She did look very good on that, though. She looked very confident, and it was a good run from her.
Well, both ice axes are in the wall, one kind of hanging off a quick draw, which is why she's looking up in the air in a bit of a worried fashion. And she's being hustled to the side because that axe could fall at any second. I think the setters will give it a little bit of a tweak with the rope, and down it comes.
She looks quite happy. It was very good. She looked quite confident on the wall, so...
Yeah, I would agree. Good start. So we've got a sighter of the first half of the route. And hello to YouTube as well. We've got lots of people joining us from all around the world, which is cool. Angela, you said you knew?
Yeah. She's Nina's mum, so I'm sure she'll be very excited to watch her.
Well, Nina is up in one athlete's time. So, Angela, if you're watching, fingers crossed, please. Hello to people watching from Spain. I think we've got going on there. Ollie Nyman is asking, how many Fig Fours, a move from ice climbing, will we get to see? Well, many, Ollie, I think, for both the men and women's routes here.
I think lots. I think you could be expecting quite a few Fig Fours and Fig Nines. And some crazy falls from the Fig Fours and Fig Nines.
Absolutely, and I'll get you to explain exactly what the difference is between a Fig 4 and a Fig 9 when we see it in a minute, because there is a difference. This is a replay. We get to see some close-ups of some of these pretty nasty holds for the women. It's a powerful start. They've got to be careful, and then you enter the horizontal section after this bit of vertical wall. And we can see here the shot through the ice barrels. This is where it started to come unstuck from her.
Yeah, I think she had all the moves very well. She didn't look too apprehensive about doing them, so it was good to see.
It was, and then eventually back down to the ground. Now, the way we're working here this morning in Korea is the men are waiting for the women's route to be finished before we bring in both sets of athletes, which allows us just to keep track of what's going on. Sometimes it can get a little bit confusing. And I can see down from our commentary box here, Catalin Connor.
Yeah,
Goodness
Caitlin
me.
is... I'm very excited to watch her climb. She did very good in qualifiers yesterday, so I'm sure she'll be very excited to climb.
So tell me a bit about G. I've been watching here Young-Hye Kwon out, who was competing in speed last night as well. How is GB team feeling? Because you've got a big squad here this year.
Yeah, we have a full team here in Korea this season. So I think everyone's very excited that we have not one but two athletes in semi-finals. So we're hoping that maybe even both of them get into finals. So we'll see. So
tell me a bit about Caitlin. What kind of holds does she prefer? What kind of climber is she?
She's quite a versatile athlete. Like, I've not really seen her do a style that she doesn't do well. So it's nice to see. But I think she's quite good at the kind of strength side of it. But I don't think she'll struggle too much on the Fig Fours. I remember in Finland last year, she hung for a good minute and a half just in a Fig 4 trying to get a move. So she's definitely got the endurance side of it.
All right, well, let's see how she gets on here. Through that first clip that is pre-clipped, and the men, as we saw from Mehdi, climbing very quickly through this first section. Seems quite straightforward down low.
Yeah, he's also going quite fast, I think. Oh, a bit of...
Oh, this is a big power move up, though, off those ice barrels, which are moving, so twisting your core as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe someone will try and Fig for that one. I think it may make it bit easier. I guess some of the men have quite a lot more like brute strength rather than like wanting to do it and wasting energy, but yeah, Caitlin's also moving quite fast.
Caitlin getting a lot of support on YouTube as well. Gustavo saying come on Caitlin.
Oh, hello Gustavo.
And Angela, of course, Team GB out in force here. It's evening time, I think, in Europe. I think it's around about coming up to midnight or something, so well done everyone who's joining us. So if we look right and left, we have Young-Hye about halfway up the route now,
He's
just resting.
Very fast. Like, he definitely looks confident on all these holds, so it'll be good to see if he can get past the part where Mehdi kind of got pumped
and fell, getting those feet in after the ice barrels. Right, Caitlin is hanging off ice tool in the mouth like this, which is if you are new, I know we've got some new ice climbers or fans watching us. It can look quite bizarre, this.
Definitely. I think sometimes it can look worse than it actually is, and I guess if you've been doing it long enough you don't find this weird, so it's hard to kind of explain it, but you know, it's basically just climbing with sharp things on you.
Yes, it is. It's absolutely terrifying. You guys are tough.
Yeah. Caitlin climbs on crook axes, the Krukenogi axes, so they're very light, which is and very strong. Like, they're very strong axes, so they're definitely kind of the top tier axes. I'm not sure what he is climbing on. They look like...
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, often we get, like, for example, Erin Emis, is coming up later on. She has kind of homemade axes. She's designed them herself.
Yeah, they're very, very cool. His kind of look like the same that Hiromiko Takuchi uses, I think. So, yeah.
Well, he's approaching the men's high point right now, so a couple more moves and he will move into the lead. Was Caitlin has slowed down the pace here. She's being very careful down low.
I think that's a good thing. You know,
I agree,
and she's also keeping her composure. I haven't seen her lose her feet or, panic in the moment. And he's looking very strong. He doesn't look even like he's...
Oh, a bit of a tangle now in that rope. This is the problem with Fig Fours on a traverse like this. Rope management is a really big part of ice climbing, more so than in IFSC competitions.
I actually haven't seen any of the men struggle too much. I think when they get up to the kind of first hold after the ice barrels, they will definitely start to struggle with the rope drag. But he's looking super strong, so I think maybe we'll see a new high point for the men.
Yeah, he's got a reverse grip on a pretty tenuous hold. Now sticks his feet above his head, kicking into that volume. And he does move into the number one spot now. You can see our leaderboard on the left. So he's a nice score of 19 is leading the way. And Caitlin had quite a long rest on those holds, just reset a little bit.
I think what he did was very smart. He threw a Fig 9 and stayed in the figure 4 when he was kicking into the wall. I think Mehdi tried to kick into the wall while he was still on the upper hold, it made it a bit more strenuous to do. So what he did was very, very smart. And
he's on the section of the route that you really like, this down climb.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. Especially since they make them go back up the ice barrels. I think I don't think I've seen that in a comp before, so he looks like he's shaking out his foot a bit of a...
I always think it's a bit mean when setters make you guys climb down and then back up again.
Yeah, Caitlin looks like she's making good progress on the left-hand side though, so I'm hoping she'll hopefully get the new high point for women as well.
Yeah, she's approaching the ice barrels. She'll try to get through this last steeper section of all before going sideways. And meanwhile, Younghae is doing really well here and kind of resting just before what is a jump into this barrel. Gets himself set and now goes, but just missed that ice axe placement. Slightly over to the left or right of that hold.
Yeah, the dynos, you have to be so accurate, especially when going to ice barrels, which have these tiny little holes in them. Although they're really good holds, accuracy is definitely a really big point of doing the dynamic moves.
I remember when dynos weren't a thing in ice climbing and then suddenly they became. Now they're in almost every route.
I'm yet to see a final that does not have a dyno at the end, so I'm hoping the finals will have maybe some big dynamic moves.
Well, we'll stick with Caitlin here. But about now, we have a clock down on the bottom right, and just to let you know at home, this is kind of ballparky clock, so it gives you an idea of the time, but the judges will have a more accurate readout down there. So it lets you know when they're running out of time, but it won't be 100% to the second accurate.
Come on, Caitlin.
Yeah, she's resting now. I think the pump's starting to kick in here a little bit, and this next move, if you're pumped, so difficult to perform.
Yeah. She's a very strong... I'm wondering if she'll maybe try and do a Fig 4.
Yeah, she is. Good spot. So this is the Fig 4, that leg wrapping over the arm, and look how easy she got up to that top hold.
That was also very smart. She is very experienced in the Fig 4s, and she's very good at them, so I'm not surprised that she did that.
However, time is a factor now. Round about 30 seconds left as she enters the ice barrel section. She'll have to move quick here.
I think you can hear Willis in the background shouting up at her as well, so she'll have a lot of she'll have everyone cheering her on in the background, which is good.
Yes, and a bit of a change to proceedings. We now have Jaeun Lim on the right hand side now, so I think the system's changed mid competition, but we'll roll with that. That's all good.
She looks very stable doing these Fig 4s, so I think she knows she's kind of short on time, so she'll be...
Yeah, you can hear Willis, who is the GB coach and athlete and everything else, shouting. Now she hangs off. Time is ticking away, and she is done. I think she was timed out there.
That was great from her, though. I mean, a new women's high point, and Well, is it?
Yes, it should be. It was definitely further, I think, to my calculations anyway.
I'm not sure if the ice barrel counts as one big hold.
I can tell you that because I've got a topo in front of me. So let's have a look, shall we? So we can find this out. I know it's lots of holds on that.
Yes, it is. Perfect. So, yes, she'll have the new women's high point, which is amazing.
Well, I say lots. There's 3 holds, so there's 3 scoring holds, but more holes than scores.
Yeah, I think she would have gotten to 22.
22, I think so too. So we now flick over to the men. Lim now, as we'd expected, climbing very fast through the bottom.
Looking so strong at the moment. You can tell he's very strong on these holds. He doesn't look like he's struggling at all with any of the undercuts or the more strenuous moves.
No, he doesn't. There's an interesting question come through on YouTube from Anton, who's saying, is there the parkour discussion in ice climbing like in rock climbing, with the OGs against it and comp kids loving it? Is that true? Do you like the dinos?
Actually, I quite like looking at. I think looking at the dynamic moves and seeing all the dinos happen is very exciting. I think there are some people who maybe think that we should stick to the traditional kind of point of dry tooling, but I think it's very different, and I think it gives the athletes something more to train. Like, see, when they add more things to the sport, I think it makes it a lot more interesting, not only for the climbers but for the viewers as well. So I'm sure the spectators will have a lot of fun seeing this dino coming up soon.
I think you're really right, and I think it's an intelligent way to say it, because I think any elite sport has to push the boundaries a little bit.
Exactly. Like, I don't think the sport would kind of evolve if we didn't keep adding new things to it. Like, obviously 10 years ago the sport wouldn't have been the same as it is now, but I think it's even better than it was, and we see how many athletes we have and how amazing they are at climbing. So
yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you. All right, well, Nina Henderson is underway. She's got a lot of support on our YouTube chat, and Caitlin next to me has just sat up nervously watching Nina. So look, tell me a bit about her. How's she feeling at the moment?
I think she's very excited. She might be a wee bit nervous, but she's a very strong climber. I mean, she's had an amazing season. It is her last year in youths, but I think she's made such a, getting finals in senior continental cups, multiple. I think she had an amazing season, and I can't wait to see her grow. And I think she is going to smash this route, hopefully. She's a very controlled climber, and I don't think she'll struggle with any of these moves. So
all within her ability. It's just keeping those nerves at bay and performing when it matters. Well, right now, Lim is on this tricky little section where you enter back onto the plywood from the ice. Now he drops those feet down. He'll prepare himself for this down climb and then dyno. Now, this is allowed, isn't it? You can use your fingers as well as tools.
And I also think it's very smart to feel the hold, just to make sure that it's the kind of jog that you would want here. I think this looks like a little ashtray kind of thing. Oh, well, it doesn't seem too good. That
looks awful.
Likes that,
and it kind of looked to me like it moved around there, which I think is perhaps a bit of an illusion.
It looks quite. So it's a circle with a bunch of metal in it, so it will be quite slippy, and you might see it shift quite a bit while he's on it. But he's looking quite composed. He doesn't look too thrown back by it. So.
No, but he's not enjoying. He's trying to have a look at exactly which bit to hold on to here. Or hold on to hook, I should say.
Also, before, he did the same thing that the man before did with them throwing the fig forward. And
and he goes for the dino. It wasn't quite set, maybe.
I don't think he's too happy with that, but that was a really good effort from him. He climbed very smart there. It was... just hanging on back.
Someone asked a question about that, about how we get them down. Basically, there's a variety of methods. Sometimes the setter will go onto the wall. Sometimes we have a giant pole that reaches up and pokes it. But that particular ice axe position is quite difficult to get, I'd imagine. Let's go back to Nina anyway. She's been climbing steadily in the meantime while we were watching that drama. But this match is fiddly.
Yeah. She's climbing very controlled. I mean, I've never seen her climb. She climbs quite fast, but she doesn't climb shaky, if you know what I mean. Like, she's very controlled when she climbs. So it's really good that she's, not kind of... I've not seen her, do anything too sketchy on this route yet, so...
Yeah, she's looking good. Big stretch up.
And she's amazingly strong, so I'm sure we'll see... I'm hoping we'll see a new high point for the women.
Yeah, that was a long reach there. Now she's shaking out, matches these tools, moving those hands up and down the various grip positions on the tool.
She uses the ICT universes. Again, very light axes. I think as axes keep getting made, they keep getting lighter and lighter. So she's climbing on them really well. She only got them, I think, a few months ago, so she's very happy with them. And I mean, only climbing maybe, I think this is her second season, so she's definitely made an entrance onto the treadmill.
Yeah, it's a bit of a statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
First semi-final, so she's doing really well. All right, so Nina moves around. Got to be really careful with the feet here.
She does look like she's taking that hold right. I think taking it the other way would have been a lot more sketchy. Yeah,
so she's wrapped the tool around what is kind of basically kind of a screw sticking out. Or is it a screw? No, it's kind of more rounded, isn't it?
It looks kind of messy. I think it looks a lot better than it actually is. She looks like she's being quite careful on it, which is good.
All right.
She crosses over. Oh no, not. Oh.
Yeah, this is some nervy moments for Nina here. So Nina up towards where there is a potential rest to come before a big move up to a small hold. You can see it there on the screen. So up with the wrap, reverse grip this time.
I think this hold is quite a good hold. I've seen quite a few of the athletes take like a little bit of a rest on it, so I think maybe she'll be happy to be on a better hold.
Yeah, it's definitely a moment to shake. And by the way,
out quite aggressively, yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm worried about shaking yourself off the hold and things like this.
I have seen quite a few close calls where people are just like waving their arms about it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so for the men, we have Gyado Kadota underway, and the ice axe, by the way, seemed to just fall off. It hung there for ages on that ice barrel, eventually just dropped.
Yeah.
For those of you who
I know he is a very good climber, and he's already climbing very, very fast, and he looks really strong on all these holds. And Nina again throws a fig 4, the same as Caitlin did. I think they may have talked about that while they were reading the route, which is good.
Yeah, the athletes do get some time to check the route out. That happened before we came on air. So they had 6 minutes or so to read the route. Yeah. And now, big moves out towards the ice barrel. We've seen a lot of people getting timed out. And Nina will be approaching the end of her time here.
Yeah, so instead of going for, on the left-hand side, on the front of the ice barrel, there's another hole. But instead of doing that, she goes straight for the hold 20. So she's made quite a good move there. I think that's going to help her score quite a bit.
Saves a bit of time, doesn't it, as well?
It definitely does. And I think she's being really smart with her climbing, making kind of bigger figure 4 moves instead of going just one, which is good.
I agree. Well, she's got to get this clip in and then try to do this transition from one ice barrel to the next. She's approaching the high point. You can see on the left Caitlin's score of 22, and now Nina will match that.
I think this is some of the best climbing I've seen her do. She's climbing so strong.
Yeah, she's going to be proud of this. Has that clip banging around her right leg at the moment.
This is the hard part for all the athletes. I think it's more the clips than the climbing, because they can all do it. Yeah. It's just they're getting tangled in that rope. And Chihado is making...
And she hasn't got it in yet as well, so it's still not in the correct position. And then she falls and takes a big plummet down.
Oh, she'll be happy with that. That was amazing to watch. She looks quite happy.
Yeah.
I think some of the athletes said that they felt quite a bit like dizzy after they fell off the wall here. So,
okay.
I think the falls are quite... good falls.
I don't like falling off sport routes, let alone with tools in my hand. So this is the clip she didn't get in. She was making the moves out, couldn't make the clip, and then eventually falls.
Yeah, I think it was just a pump of going between all those figure 4s. Although they're big holes, they're just like the endurance that you need to do them is insane.
Well, let's go back to Gyado here, he's on the traverse. He's taken a long time to get to this point, actually.
Yeah. You can see his axes, they have 3 handles, so usually the longest handle, which he's on the now, used for quite reachy moves. His middle handle would kind of be the more intermediate handle on some other axes, like the universes we just saw, and then obviously you have short. So all the grips can help quite a bit for the athletes to make different moves. So.
Well, he grabs that clip to try to adjust it into the correct position for him, but it's awkward because it's so long. Gets it in now. And we've seen a few athletes struggle on this next sequence of moves. So out he goes with that left axe, and that's better.
He goes. I don't think he likes this hold very much. Seems a bit. It's interesting to see how athletes do this move. We obviously saw Mehdi who just dropped down but couldn't kick into the wall. I think the Fig 4 and Fig 9 is definitely the way of doing it, because it keeps you more in at the wall, and also you don't need to use all that core and energy. So yeah.
Yeah, well, he's made that transition now. So down climb time towards this really nasty hole, probably the worst hole we've seen so far on this men's route.
Definitely.
And in an awkward position as he creeps down towards it. He's going to try to peer around the corner and see inside it as he, trusts the axe pretty quickly, though.
I think it's really nice to see some of the athletes maybe be more comfortable on some of the holes than the others. It really shows more like experience as well. So he looks quite confident. I think maybe we might see.
Yeah, so he's getting set for this dyno. No, pings before he can get to it, and down he goes. He's disappointed with that. And meanwhile, on the bottom left, we have Aneta Luchecka from Czech Republic underway, and you can see super disappointed. He wasn't in the correct position there.
No. I think maybe the beta for that is, I don't actually know if there is, but he was pulling it quite to the side. I think maybe pulling that one down and keeping your arms very straight and making sure that it doesn't shift around too much.
Well, there is Aneta, and I just want to let you know about this lady's condition, because she's desperately sick at the moment. She has a temperature of 38. She was throwing up between speed rounds last night. I have no idea how she's still on the wall, in all honesty.
She is a beast. Watching her climb is like amazing.
Yeah, kind of whatever she does is an achievement just to be out there right now. But this is what you athletes have to do, though. You know, you have to battle through these situations.
She's got the signature little bobble
the pink bobble
her helmet.
Yeah.
I love all of her kit. It's also pink and girly. It's really nice to like see under all this like sharp stuff. They still find a way to make it their own.
Now, she does struggle occasionally with speed and commitment on some of these holds. So it's something she's been working on. Now has this double match underneath, which is...
I think that was quite smart, going reverse under that hold, because it will pull it more to the right, which is what you want to go up for this move. She's also, I don't know if I'm right in saying this, quite small. So I think yesterday she did very well on both qualifiers, I think. So...
Yeah, there was a move that she jumped for that no one else had to jump for. I saw that one.
Yeah, so it's very impressive watching her climb.
Now, underway on the right is Jonathan Arthur Brown, who is one to watch for this competition. Qualified fairly low down in the order, but this Swiss athlete, you know, he should really be making finals and probably podium.
Definitely. I was speaking about him earlier, saying that I would probably I think most people would like to see him in finals and even maybe on the podium. So I think he's definitely got the potential to shine through in this competition.
I would agree. And Aneta actually looking fairly comfortable on these moves. I think you said it, she's very powerful, and I think this kind of a route would actually suit her style.
Yeah, I think obviously she's a wad at dry tooling, but she's definitely learned her ability of her height, so she's trained the moves she needs to train. And I think the way she trains, like as I've seen on maybe her Instagram and stuff, she trains quite big moves in her cave as well. So she uses her height to her ability, and she's amazing at the Fig 4s. I mean,
if she can get there, and this is where the sickness thing might start to tell, but we'll wait and see. Meanwhile, Jonathan Arthur Brown has climbed nicely through the first couple of ice barrels, and he's approaching the end of this first section of wall here.
I don't expect him to struggle quite a lot on this the start of the route. He is very, very strong. I think maybe where he might get spelled is that big dyno move, just because it's so unpredictable. Yeah, like you don't know if the hold's going to pop out or if it's going to stay. So
yeah, no one's come close to really sticking that yet.
No. I think the move is definitely one to watch. And this is going quite fast, actually. She's climbing really not just fast, but sometimes you see athletes climb fast, but they don't keep their composure very well. It's really good that she's climbing fast and controlled at the same time. It helps a lot. And so
yeah, now she goes for this Fig 4, and it's a long way above her head as she stretches up.
Yeah, you can really see the difference in heights here to the other athletes.
She's super low on that axe as well, so this is a risky moment for Aneta. Now drives that left foot in and approaches the ice barrel.
That hold is very, very tiny, so she'll be happy to maybe get on some jogs now.
Yeah, so this is where we think her sort of strength is, these Fig 4 moves.
Yeah, she's just very like, when she does them, it's just like, it's like watching a gazelle on the wall. That's the only way I can explain it.
As an animal lover, I'm sure she'll love that description. So, Annetta, a gazelle on the wall. Let's see what you can do. She looks up above her head.
Like, it's just effortless.
Yeah.
Like,
I think what you're saying is the flow, right? The way she's moving between the holds.
She's very skipping between the holds.
Well, she's moving towards a high point as well. Nina, who did really well, got that 24.
Yeah. She looks really strong at the moment, though, so I think she may take the new high point for women. Johnny's also looking really strong.
Yes, he's got the tricky first men's crux to come here.
And they both competed in speed last night, so I'm assuming they'll be quite tired, not only from the qualifiers yesterday, but from going up that ice. Yeah,
it's a busy schedule for you ice climbers. Yesterday was the qualification for the lead to get to this stage, and then the practice, qualification and finals for speed, so yes.
Yeah.
Right, Annetta picking up the pace now a little bit. She moves into the top spot at 25, our fourth athlete out, and Jonathan struggling at the moment with this transition move.
I think he'll be comfortable. Look,
there we go.
Already he looks more confident on the wall.
Yeah, second he hit that Stein pull, he knew he could shake out. Now Annetta
getting the new high point for women.
Yeah, and complicated moves to come, and another airy transition between these barrels.
I think Fig 4s are one of my favourite moves, so I love watching people do them. They're just so intricate, and when people know how to do them, it's so nice to watch. So.
And you see quite a lot of rope drag in the wall. The belay is giving her plenty of slack. It's just tricky.
The rope drag is insane for not only the women but the men, as I said before. But he comes onto this hold, feet very low. His right axe actually pinged there.
Oh yeah, so Jonathan sets himself up for the dyno at the moment. Now that minute clock is for the women, so it gives you an idea. Annetta, about a minute left here.
I think she could get onto the head wall.
Oh, Jonathan nails the dyno. Great moves from him.
So he's got the new high point for the guys, which I was expecting, but
yes, I think the highest quality in terms of caliber athlete out, and he's made that dyno look like a piece of cake
now
out there.
He just needs to keep his composure while going through these ice barrels, which could be a little bit hard, but he's a very experienced athlete, so I'm assuming he'll.
So Annetta, a few moves to go here, about 30 seconds ish on the clock.
Her, it's just amazing. I know I keep talking about her Fig 4s, but it's insane the way she does them.
Super smooth. She will now pick up the pace. You can see.
Come on.
She needs to go quickly here because we've got some very good athletes to come, and the top might be required to get into the finals here. Can she do something crazy? And she falls off that final barrel.
But that was amazing work from her. I mean, in spite of her being sick, it's amazing how she went up that wall. Yeah,
she is very, very, very ill, so fair play to her. Right, Jonathan Arthur Brown, though, meanwhile, up towards the last of the ice barrels. I think he'll be happy to leave them behind and get back to the dry tooling.
I think he's going back onto the ice barrel in a minute if he can. Loses his feet for a minute.
Yeah, there's a final one to go, isn't there?
Yeah.
All right, up he goes.
He looks like he's struggling. You can see it on his face, but I think.
Yeah, around about 36 seconds on the clock, so he's coming up to the last part of his route here.
I think he can definitely get onto this head wall and maybe even get to the second hold if he, powers through it. The pump up here would be absolutely insane. I mean...
Yeah, and he isn't making a lot of progress right now. That time is ticking down. And you can see his body wants to go fast, but the arms won't let him. And he hacks into that barrel. You don't often see that.
No. And it is allowed, though.
Yeah.
It is the red things on top that is keeping the ice barrels on the wall. You're not allowed to hook them, but hitting the ice is allowed. So let's see if he can. Oh.
Well, he was stuck in one place. Right, let's do some YouTube shout-outs. Hello to Melody, who says, amazing Annette, hope you feel better soon. Zanaib says, hello from Switzerland. Wow, you're still watching. That's coming up past midnight now. Looks like a complete death pump, says Anton Budge. Yes, death pump is a good way to describe it.
That is.
I experienced something. So I was dry tooling the other day, which is not a common thing for me, right? I experienced delayed pump, which I didn't know was a thing.
No, yeah. I think it was Champagny, which was my first competition. I got down from the ice wall, and I felt fine. And then I got down, went and sat down, and I couldn't feel my arms.
Yeah.
I think it was probably the scariest experience I've had while dry tooling, and I was just sitting there like,
Yeah, what is this?
I can't feel anything.
I know.
What's happening?
I was so shocked that it happened because I didn't feel pumped on the route. The second I hit the ground, it then flooded up my arms.
It's quite a shock.
I'm glad it's not just me.
No, it's
okay,
not,
that's good.
definitely not.
That's good. All right, well, we are watching now Shabanam Asadi from Iran, who was also completing the speed.
The Iranians are crazy in speed. I mean, watching them do speed was insane. And Jorge from Spain, who climbed very well yesterday.
Now we have Savannah Asadi representing Iran.
She's climbing quite confidently, you know, not really second guessing the holds.
Yeah, she's straight away into it, isn't she? All right, so Jorge underway then as well. And I think I said it wrong earlier, by the way. Women have 7 minutes and men have 6.5. Sorry about that. I think I flipped the order in my head.
Yeah, Jorge is a very powerful and fast climber. I saw yesterday he got the move, despite only being 18, I think. He got the move that most of the men were struggling and pinging off, so it was very impressive. I think at one point he even dynoed for a Stein, so it was very cool to watch.
Yes, it was. He's into this, what we call a Stein pull, which is basically an undercling in ice climbing terms.
So they're both on Stein pulls here, actually. So basically, Stein pulls are the things that you can kind of put the head of your axe against the wall. They're very stable, so I think they're quite a good rest position when you get to them. Some of the Stein pulls are a lot worse than others. They can be quite slippy, so some people like to go straight under and not Stein the pecs, which it's quite strenuous to do, but these athletes are so strong that they're all capable of it. So
absolutely. Well, Shabnam is about halfway up the more vertical section of wall. Jorge as well, a kind of similar position from both. They started actually around about the same time.
She looks like she's struggling a little bit with this kind of undercut move, side pull.
Oh, it's super tenuous, isn't it?
Yeah,
a lot of body tension.
Ankle. I got on the wall yesterday, and while I was looking at the wall, I was like, okay, this looks fine. And I got on, and it's so much more steep than, like, when you see the wall in person, it obviously looks steep, but not as steep. But seeing it on video is something completely different. You think, oh, this looks breezy, but it's really not.
Was it more or less intimidating coming here in real life?
So I think when watching the live streams, the wall looks very, very tall, and although it is tall, it's a lot less intimidating. I think quite a few of the athletes on our team that had only been here for the first time said that about the wall as well. Jorge is going very, very fast.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
He's very speedy.
I mean, I think he might know that no one's really got close just because...
yeah, he'll know.
Yeah, he'll have an idea anyway.
Yeah.
The athletes are kept in an isolation, but, you know...
And also hearing the crowd. I don't know if they'll be able to hear the crowd from where they are, but hearing the crowd helps a lot to know where the other athletes have gotten and, you know, how good they've done. Oh,
yeah,
struggle to get that other ice barrel, but...
The problem with going fast is you don't give yourself a lot of time to rest. Let's hope he's not burning himself out too hard here.
Very, very strong. Like the way he transitioned into that, like Fig 4, he's also very good at them.
Yeah. Really aggressive ice axes as well.
He uses I think they are dragons from ICT.
Okay.
There are a few that look quite similar, but I'm pretty confident that those are dragons. Quite a few of the Spanish climb on them, so...
I like the name as well.
Yeah. They've all got quite cool axe names, I realised.
I want my axe to have, like, a really good animal name here.
Yeah,
like, Dragon
definitely.
is good.
Oh, getting his foot back.
My colleague laughing at me there. But you don't want an ice axe called Rabbit, do you? I mean, it's got to have Dragon or Lion or something.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a tricky little sequence here. Flicking those feet over the arms and kind of getting tangled in the rope as well. Oh, really?
Composure quite well. Let's see if he can rescue this. That is insanely hard. He made that look so easy.
It's kind of a front lever, isn't it?
Yeah, like that is insane the way he did that. He's doing what Mehdi did and not throwing the Fig 4 on that hold, which I don't know if that will help him.
Well,
there he goes.
Yeah, that Steinpool was found with his legs swinging in the air, which again requires a lot of core to do that.
I think when Mehdi did it, he tried to kick in before he went for the Stein, but Jorge did that quite well. Let's see if he can get this Stein now.
He's not setting his feet up for this yet. I think he needs to go a little further to the left. He surely can't jump from there, can he?
I think he might.
Oh my goodness, he is as well. And he makes it.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Wow. Perhaps that is intended, because going off the volume is a better platform to jump off.
Definitely. He's making it look too easy.
Yeah.
Like, the way he's pulling up after cutting loose on those axes, it's insane. It's like doing toes to bar. It's like the core you need for that is very insane. He's also a very good lead climber. I think all the Spanish are quite involved in rope climbing. Shabnam is on the...
Yeah, Shabnam, I was about to say, we should talk about her because she's on the ice barrels as well.
She's looking very composed. So I think she might do quite well on the ice barrels.
Jorge, meanwhile, still hasn't breathed, I don't think, during this run. He's just powering through. But he loses his feet here. Now he needs to get him back in, and does.
Perfect.
How many times can that man cut loose in one run?
I have no idea. But you know what? If he can do it and keep his composure, I don't see why not. She's doing very, very well, actually.
Yeah, she
really
is.
Strong. I think she'll... we'll see in a minute how much time she has.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying watching Jorge. And meanwhile, on the sort of antithesis of that, Shabnam, just cool, calm and collected. No drama.
She's using the classic revolts, which, they're good axes. They're quite... they're a little bit more heavy than some of the other axes, like the crooks or the dragons that Jorge's using. But, good axes either way.
And now... Jorge getting himself all tangled in that rope again. Just full drama from Jorge. But this is, I think, approaching the high point here. He's getting very close to it.
He doesn't even look like he's struggling anymore. A bit of a fiddle with that kick in the wall.
And Shabnam is also doing well. Annetta got a little bit further in terms of the high point.
Yeah. I think maybe, depending on how much time she has, she definitely has the potential to get the high point for women. Yeah. So it'll be very exciting to see.
All right. Drops down, loses her feet again. Just dangling off one arm. Those dragons doing their job to keep him in. But no, and again he slips.
Come on, Jorge.
Jorge's giving me a heart attack in the commentary box. But he matches
My core hurts watching this.
Oh, no. Finally he goes.
He'll be happy with that.
He should be. Apart from...
he doesn't know how anyone else has done. So I think that's also the kind of... thing about going into isolation and not seeing how anyone else done and coming down and seeing your teammates smile at you. It's quite...
Yeah, there was so much drama there. Right, Shabnam, she's left an axe behind. Look, it's dangling in that barrel.
Happened quite a lot to make it easier to maybe clip or match on your other tool. But she saved that quite well, though.
She does. It's a bit of a gamble, that always, isn't it, if you can't reach?
Definitely. And also, the axe could obviously fall out, which is the same as putting the axe over your shoulder. Although it may help, and some athletes don't like to put the axe in their mouth, it could be a bit of a struggle. And, I've seen axes fall from people's shoulders many a time.
Yeah, Shabnam approaching the high point now, so we'll have a little look at that scoreboard. There it is. So Anetta's 35, just 4.4 holds behind now. And time, though, and I think she has been timed out, looks down just to get confirmation. And just to remind everyone at home, although we have the scores on our board right now, things can change, especially during a semi-final. Appeals can come through afterwards. So the results you'll see are kind of provisional until it's confirmed.
So far, I haven't seen anything too crazy happen with any of the holds, but it can definitely happen. I think we had quite a few technicals in the qualifiers yesterday, so anything can happen in the sport. It's...
Exactly. Just remember that if you're watching at home. We only have the information we get. Okay, another round done. Shabnam looking up, and I think she's actually maybe talking about this. And look, Tabby Climb Instagram down on the bottom left of your screen. Please go and follow this young lady who is, I don't know if you're listening at home and you agree with me, I'm sure you do. She's incredible at this. You're so articulate and intelligent with the way you speak about climbing. It's fantastic. So thank you.
Most of my team knows that I quite enjoy talking. I'm quite a talker, so...
Well, I hope I never see you again because you make semi-finals and finals every time. But
me too.
You can always come back. Okay, underway. Athlete number 7, Andreas Gatnet from Latvia. Liechtenstein. I always do that.
Yeah, I think he climbed quite strong in the qualifiers yesterday, and he's such a strong athlete. It's... Again, I know I keep saying this, but all these athletes are so strong. It's so amazing to watch.
Yeah, but you're part of this now. You're one of them.
It's amazing to be part of this community. Everyone is so friendly. And I know we all have separate teams, but I do feel like we're all just this one big team.
No.
Like, it's such like a small sport at the minute that it's not evolved. Obviously, we're on the way to the Olympics, hopefully, but right now it's quite...
Yeah, fingers crossed for that. Right, so Cheongsong is underway from Korea on the left, and as we said, Andreas Gattner on the right. Someone was asking about route length. The wall is about 30 metres tall, but the routes wind across it. So the short answer is I have no idea how long the routes are, but long. Which doesn't answer anyone's question, but, you know, it's the truth.
No, but, like, it's even hard to imagine, like, how much endurance these athletes have to have, which all their training they're doing over the off-season really pays off for what they're doing right now.
Yes, exactly, and it's such a different type of training from the rock climbing training that we see. But the strength, as you say, I hate my thing. My pet peeve about people who don't understand ice climbing is when they say, "Oh, they're hanging off jugs. It's easy," which could not be further from the truth.
No, I mean, I've heard so many people say that, and I just like, although we are hanging on jugs, the slippy, you know, technical holds that they're on, I mean, it's like hanging off crazy crimps in climbing. Like, it's just the same.
People need to look at the other end of the ice axe.
Exactly.
Not talk about the handles, because the handles are just what you hold on to. I mean, we're talking millimeters deep holds here on metal in ice.
Yeah. I think she's using the Jet 2s from Korea, which, again, super light axes. They also have 3 handles, which quite a lot of the Korean axes do. I remember one of our athletes has them, and they are very good axes, so it's great to see. And Andreas is using crooks, I think. So again, very, very good axes.
Yeah, and we can see the time there. So he's approaching the 4-minute mark as we switch back to the women's side of the wall now. And
you can really see how like small and technical all these holds are with the zoom-ins, like tiny, tiny little pockets.
Yes, and everyone is gross, basically.
She had to jump for that one there.
She's one of the smaller athletes, I think, out of that.
I've noticed that all the Koreans are quite small, which, I mean, for the moves they're doing, it's amazing. Like, when I came to Korea, I was very surprised to see all of the moves are massive.
There's a lot of Korea's quite a special place for dry tools. If you've never been and you're listening at home, there's gyms like rock climbing gyms for dry tooling, which is fairly unusual in Europe.
I think in Seoul there's maybe even 15, maybe 14 just dry tooling gyms alone. So, yeah, it's amazing.
Wiggling in the clip there. Clipping with gloves is another thing these athletes have to deal with. They often wear golf gloves. There are dry tooling gloves, but golf gloves tend to be the best thing for it.
Yeah, I mean, it helps with their grip, like, massively. Like, without gloves, it would be insanely hard to hold on to these axes. And also quite a few of the athletes use liquid chalk or normal chalk under their gloves to kind of ensure they can hold on and they won't slip off their axes.
Oh, interesting. So you put liquid chalk on first, then you put the golf glove. I did not know that. See, this is why you're here. This is brilliant.
Yeah, so it helps a lot to hold on to the axes, and I'm loving everyone's tape. I love just seeing everyone's different tape. It's amazing. Yeah,
on the bus to the venue, which takes about 3 to 5 hours depending, so many athletes were taping up their tools. Oh, look, he dropped onto the rope there and had a moment.
I think, there you go. Yeah, I think this is a smart thing to do. Throwing that Fig 4 or Fig 9, it really, really helps to keep their composure.
Yeah, it looked like he was in the wall, but he wasn't. As you said, hooking that leg over the arm. By the way, Tabitha, the Scottish Dry Tooling Club has come onto YouTube saying, "You're our hero. 15-year-olds, total wob at climbing and total wad at commentating." I agree. Tabitha doing a great job here. All right, well, he is kicking hard into this wall here. He's got to drop the feet down, though. There's a Stein pull underneath him. And he's having a long look down, isn't he? Which is such a weird thing to see. Usually they're looking up.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, it happens, especially I think at the World Cup, you see it a lot more, like in Canada and Edmonton last year. There's a lot of down climbing. They even had, ice at the start of the route. It was crazy. I think a few of the Liechtenstein folk have done quite well at this competition. I think his teammate Lorena Beck, maybe, in finals as well. So
yeah, they're a strong team, kind of ice climbing specialists, really.
Yeah, I mean, she's amazing at speed. I think she won in Edmonton in the World Cup last year. So
all right, Andreas is getting set for this jump. Now, he's got the left foot into the side wall.
Yeah.
We saw a few athletes just jumping off the blue volume, and now he steps back down.
I think it may be...
Oh, see,
He doesn't look too sure.
It's definitely a dodgier jump. Yeah, and look.
It looked like he tried to put that other axe in the hole, but just missed it. So that was a good run from him. Though he looked very strong.
Because the thing is, if you're jumping off the volume, it's a more direct jump, whereas if you're pushing off the sidewall, you're kind of twisting that foot as you jump.
Yeah.
Hard to get the accuracy.
Yeah.
All right, so Cheongsong has taken quite a long time to get to this position.
She's trying to lock off, which is not something we've seen many of the athletes do. I think the first woman out tried to lock off and did it, but she did that quite well.
Yeah, that lock-off strength was impressive. But she's made the move. We'll need to shake out briefly.
All of the Koreans are so strong. Like the angle that they're climbing at. I mean, getting to climb here, maybe even quite a lot. It's insane how strong they are.
So the Korean team cheering her on here. She shakes out before making this move. About a minute and a half left on the clock to do this sequence, which I don't think's enough time to top the route.
No, I'm never say never, but I'm gonna say
it would be a heck of a speed climb if she did it anyway.
It would go down in history if she topped this. But yeah, the Korean team, obviously being their country, they brought so many athletes. I think they have 15 with them. Yeah. So they have full teams in both of the women and male.
Yeah, I want to talk more about how you got into this sport and the sort of the future, especially with that Scottish Drive Tooling Club, because it's really good to see teams getting. I mean, we said it's a small sport, it is still, and yet teams are fulfilling their quotas at the moment, which I haven't seen in recent years.
Yeah, I mean, last year we had selection events.
So I'm just going to stop you, Tabitha, because she hasn't made that clip, and yeah, she does fall. She got herself into trouble then.
Yeah. I mean, the clips, like, it's such a kind of gamble. Like, when you think about, I can do this at the next move, and you realise you can't, it can be a struggle for some of the athletes, so...
Yeah. All right, then back to... So, let's say that you're a young climber. How on earth do you get in? Let's say you're in the UK, how do you get into dry tooling and ice climbing then?
So, we have... before, it was just our small little cave in Ibrox, in the Glasgow Climbing Centre. But... now we've upgraded and we have this new massive toolbox. It's amazing. I think it's the biggest in Europe, I'd say. It is massive. We've all been training, so I think you can really see some of the athletes on our team really kind of evolving when they climb. Like if you looked at some of our athletes last year and this year, I think even after a few months you can see how well they're doing. So yeah, coming down to the Scottish Dry Tooling Club, the Toolbox Cave, even looking them up on Instagram and maybe giving them a message if you're too far away to come see us.
We might be able to find the Instagram for the maybe if you write it down for my colleague and he'll put it up on screen for you as we look at Yutaka Shimada here, who is from Japan and is climbing away here on just about to approach the traverse towards the left here. Smooth climbing from the Japanese athlete at the moment. You can see the leaderboard, our high point from Jorge, who had that wild climb on 31. And a long way ahead at the moment. You can see the lines on that leaderboard. And Cardenal slightly picking up the pace as he gets his long draw in before the traverse to the left. That's a great shot of these holes. They will develop throughout this competition, get bigger.
Yeah, Jorge had a really, really great run. I mean, he's just a very, very strong athlete, so watching him climb is amazing. I think he had quite a good season last season. He did quite a lot of... I think he had quite a lot of the senior finals, despite being only 17. So, I mean, it's amazing seeing all the young climbers shine through. I mean, even Matthias Linnerth, he's been coming into senior finals multiple times this season, and it's amazing. And
yeah, I like the young athletes coming through. It was completely wild and probably not very energy efficient, but I don't care. It was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Yukada's kind of the opposite of that. He's very smooth at the moment. We haven't seen any drama from him.
No, I mean, it's amazing when the athletes keep their composure, how well they can do it, especially the more experienced athletes. I think they're...
Well, he's got that quick draw tangled up, now unflicks it. You can do that, you can touch the quick draw, you can't weight it, but you can move it around like that. Gets it in. And over on the left, we have a Korean legend underway for the women. I'm sure we'll show her in a minute, but Shin is climbing on the left-hand side as we sit with Yukada here, who is going round in a 360 to try to get to this wall. I think he's trying to drop into the Stein pool directly.
He looks like he's struggling a bit. I think that might waste a bit of energy already. I think he would have been better just going up for the hold, but I mean, if he can do it, and he can do it well, there's no... Oh?
Yeah, now it looked to me for a moment like he was wanting to drop under.
Oh, he pings out of it.
It's so difficult, this, because you have to commit to a method, and getting it wrong can really cost you.
Yeah, I mean, when you're making the decision to skip a hold, it's either going to be a massive win or a massive lose. It could cost you the whole route, or it could, get you to the top. So,
yeah, you're absolutely right. But now he's back kind of on track here, but he'll have to pick up a bit of time. He's still got 2 minutes left, so
quite a lot of time.
There is Shin, by the way, on the left. Now, she is our overall winner from last year. She's won pretty much everything there is to do in ice climbing.
Yeah, she's just amazing at climbing. I mean...
She started a huge new gym as well on the outskirts of Seoul, which everyone keeps telling me I should go and visit, and I haven't managed to yet. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, she's a very experienced climber.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. She qualified a bit lower down the order because of a few technical incidences that happen in quali. But hang on, we'll talk about that next. We're about to see this dyno.
And massive drop knee as well, very technical. He gets his foot right up on the other panel instead of getting on the blue. Oh,
he's got to be careful not to hook underneath that structure.
Right on his tiptoes here as well, which could maybe get him the dip.
He's getting set in a tricky position, and now again.
This is definitely the hard bit of the men's final. I think this will decide who gets into finals and who doesn't. It's
the separator, isn't it? And spinning down to the ground. And there's the axe buried in. Now, last time it fell of its own accord. We didn't see the giant pole come out, but oh, look, I think dizzy. He would be dizzy after all that spinning.
The falls here are very soft. They're very good falls, but you can definitely feel a little bit woozy after coming down from the wall.
Now, Winshun Shin has been utterly smooth up there. I mean, I've been watching out the corner of my eye, and look at the speed she's climbing through here. If this lady doesn't make finals, there would be something severely wrong.
It's not even just her speed. Like, you think she's like down at the bottom, and then you look up and she's just right there. It's like effortless.
She is the Yanya Gambra, but a little bit older, of ice climbing for sure.
100%.
All right, well...
She's checking that clip to make sure it's all good. I can imagine she's maybe a little bit apprehensive after the technical that she called yesterday. Her clip maybe unclipping a little bit. So... Yes,
so explain that a bit. Her clip unclipped.
Yeah, so she was up on the... I think it was the second female route. Got to the top, but not only did one of her clips unclip, one of the holds broke.
Okay, so a double whammy.
Yeah. Got to climb again, but she got knocked down on the route. I'm not too sure what really happened. I don't think I can speak very confidently about it because I'm not very in the loop about it, but she's doing amazing here and definitely making a comeback from the qualifiers.
Yeah, she's so experienced. She'll be able to sort of put that behind her and move on, which she's doing right now.
She doesn't even look like it's phased her even a little bit.
Well, she's very likely to go through Anetta's high point here as she moves towards 31 with plenty of time. Look, 2 minutes 36 on the clock.
I think we're going to see a top here, 100%.
Yeah. I would say, we've just commentated cursed her here. This is this is really problematic. Yeah, exactly. We're tapping our brains here. Yeah, exactly. Well, we think. We'll see. But she's certainly got the potential to do that.
So got roughly 2 minutes.
It's a lot of time, isn't it?
It's a lot of time. Definitely enough time to top the route.
So Shin will transition onto the plywood away from the ice here. And this is the difficult clip that Anetta struggled with, and Shin is into the top spot right now.
That looks like quite a sketchy hold there, a little wrap. I think they're quite slippy, but going out to a Stein pool.
Oh, it's a long way.
These Stein pools are quite good. They don't have very many edges, or like some of the Stein pools are metal and have edges, so you have to go front on and be very strong to get them. But these Steins look quite a good view of the try-hard face that I think quite a lot of athletes, it's very fun to see all their try-hard faces. Everyone's got a different one, so...
Yes, I love a try-hard face. Mine is particularly gurning, I'm sure.
Mine isn't very good either.
I want to see it.
That is the top hold.
Now she's got to clip the quick draw and match the hold here. So she'll...
It is also allowed, now they've made it so you can just tap the hold.
Okay, so it doesn't need to be like a control.
No.
Okay, well, she's in.
I think she would.
More than enough, anyway.
Yeah, that's amazing.
On mine's a feat. Well, as expected, Shin gets to the top. That is the new high point, and she will cruise into finals there.
She still looks composed even coming down from the wall after topping the semi-finals route.
Super impressive from Shin.
It's amazing.
Yeah, she is. If you were a betting person, I put a cheeky fiver on her. Put it like that. Now, the Scottish Dry Swordsing Club has been commenting on YouTube with a bit of information. So you can go and click on them and give them a follow if you've been interested and listening to Tabitha's story. So Shinan does her knot. For the men, Mohammad Reza Safdarian is underway, who won the speed climbing competition for the men.
Is amazing, and I feel everyone thinks that. I mean, watching him not only do speed, but dry tooling, I mean, it's so just cool to watch him. I know it's not a very descriptive word, but it is just so cool to watch him
Perfect word, we ice climb. It's very chilly out there. Yeah, no, he's great, and I was very impressed with his speed as well. So, and very cool. Is that tape or is that yaks?
I was just looking at that. I think he is using Crooked as well. Yeah. I think he's just got some very colourful tape on his axes, which is cool. Us this season, we had GB climbing tape with little flags around our axes. Yeah, so
that's made me feel a little patriotic.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even live in the UK. Well, Safdarian is getting a lot of support on YouTube, and VH Millsy says, hi from Canada. Hello. Yeah, do let me know where you're watching from. I'm always fascinated by this. Is anyone still awake in Europe watching? Let me know.
And he has the coolest mustache. I mean, it's just amazing.
As a person who can't grow a mustache, I'm particularly jealous of that one. So
me neither.
Can you not? Are you surprised? So, well, it's that point in the semi-final where we've already lost the plot here. But,
yeah, just a bit.
About the halfway point.
I mean, he throws the fig four effortlessly once again.
Yeah, super smooth, isn't it? This is looking very good. Can he make his second finals in 2 days?
He's got a very cool shirt on as well. You can see it's kind of ombre effect down the arm.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty.
It's a good spot, Tabitha. You're on this. You're very good at this. Well, long clipped, and Olga Kosek is underway for the women, who is another one who really will keep an eye on for the final.
I'd love to see Olga do well. She's such a nice person and such an amazing climber. She had kind of in qualifiers on the first female route, there was a move which it spat off quite a lot of people, but she got spat off it as well. And not only did she top the second route and make semi-finals, it's just amazing, and I think we can expect her to get into finals.
All right, we'll have to wait and see for this. Meanwhile, Safdarian does that rotation. And shout out to our European peeps listening. From the Netherlands, Anton's in Denmark, says he should head to bed. No, not yet. Might as well finish it off. It's too late now anyway. Hello from Colorado. 1:30 in the morning in Sweden. Username says, hi, Matt, we love you. Oh, I thought it said, hi, Matt, we love this. I didn't mean to shout myself out there. Reza Go, username is from the USA. Sick. Awesome. Lovely to see everyone from around the world.
He's making it look very easy and effortless here. I think maybe we could definitely, if he gets this dyno, I think we could see another mile high point, because he's got 3 minutes left, which is so much time.
Right, here we go. Jump time. He's got that left foot set. We know this is the dodgier way to do the jump.
Yeah, I mean...
Or is it? Maybe we'll prove this wrong.
Climber. Oh,
he's in.
He sticks it. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, this move will definitely differentiate between all of the climbers, and it will really separate who is going into finals and who isn't.
Yeah, you do that jump, you're kind of in with a shot, aren't you, at that point? All right, well, he rotates those feet around, fig fours all the way. And there you can see Olga Kosek on the left. We were talking about her earlier, from Poland. Travels the world with her husband as part of a...
Alec, yeah. They're such nice people. I mean, we're quite close with them because we have Kasia, who is Willis's wife, who's also on the Polish team now, which is very exciting. So she travels with them quite a lot. But
so no inter-team rivalry going on there.
Definitely.
You got a spy in the other camp. You got to use this.
I love the Polish. They're just such nice people. She's looking really strong. She's such a strong climber, and again very experienced. So.
Yeah, she's looking good. She's approaching the big move. Meanwhile, Safdarian has hit the head wall once more. Not much climbing left. 3 clips to go, but I think some of the hardest moves to come.
Definitely. He's got roughly 2 minutes left, so we'll see. And also, they've got quite good music playing outside. I mean, while qualifiers was going on, I was listening to the music, and it wasn't like rave music like it usually is at the comps. It was actual songs playing. Yeah. It was quite nice. to know the words to some of the songs.
I agree with you. Apart from when I walked into the stadium at about 6:30 this morning, there was some very heavy metal going on. It was a bit much that
I heard
early
it
on.
from inside the observatory. And it was definitely, it made me quite awake. So
Yeah. Right, Safdarian is approaching the really tricky technical moves up here. It's still overhanging and things really step up in difficulty, but he is easily into the high point.
so strong. It's crazy. So I think we might. I think if he goes really, 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 really fast, he can maybe get to the top hold.
Yeah.
It looks like there's another dyno to get to that top hold.
Yeah, to the barrel. I've seen
Very
that.
dynamic move. It might not be a dyno, but maybe like a very dynamic move.
Like a sort of a fall into
Yeah.
the hold. Yeah.
And it was kind of like the women's route in Czech. They didn't have a dyno, but it was kind of like you had to kind of trust fall into the hold.
That's a good description. A trustful. I like.
Yeah.
All right, well, he's on to nasty metal holds here. Is managing to shake out. Has about 30 seconds left. He'd like to get a top to guarantee that finals place.
100%. You can hear all the Iranians cheering him on, so it's very nice to hear.
Yeah, they want him to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's lovely to hear all the camaraderie between all the athletes, not even just their teammates, but everyone else cheering them on as well.
Hits it second time of asking. Buries that pick into something on that hold and reaches up towards a wrap.
Oh, that was amazing.
How did he save that, eh? Drop.
And still keeping his composure, which is amazing. I mean,
Yeah. Will he have time to complete the route? He does that trustful jump.
oh, I think he's just out of time.
He might be, but remember, this clock isn't always accurate, so it could count. But whatever, that was a good run from Safdarian there.
Oh, I think that may have been a top. I don't think I heard the guy shout until.
Yeah.
That was amazing. You can see the team there.
There is Team GB. Awesome to see.
That was amazing. I love watching it. It's so great.
Well, Safdarian is down. He has a little breather, thumbs up. He knows that should be enough for finals, I think.
A big breath. I mean, I'm sure he's experiencing some like hot flashes or something.
Yeah. All right, well, Olga is on the final moves of the ice barrel. She's still got some time left on the clock.
The way she's using her feet against all the other ice barrels is very smart. She's pushing against them, so it gives her more reach to get to the other ones.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, oh no, falls. That was a strange one.
Time out.
It looked
I
like
think
she timed out.
I think
it's pumped out. Well, Olga's done. Now listen, Tabitha, we're going to do a little bit of a rotation here because it's a long semi-final. But
Yeah.
You did so well for commentating. Thank you. Everyone, please go and follow Tabitha on Instagram. Follow her on social media. Give her lots of support because I think we'll be seeing this lady in semi-finals in the future.
We can always hope.
You
Bye,
can definitely do
everyone.
it. See you later, Tabitha.
Have a fun
Thank
time
you.
watching.
자, 다음 단점 10분에 킥으로 위치 마련해주세요.
여자 주 아이스바이 해주세요. Thank you for great work, Olga Koseng.
Right, well, as we get our second co-commentator set up, we are at the halfway point of this semi-final. Remember, we're looking for 8 athletes to make it through to the next round. We've seen a couple of tops so far, and some questions coming in on YouTube as well. Futa was asking, did Safdarian make it to the top before the timer ran out? I will check my live results here. There is a live results feed you can watch to confirm that, because it is a bit tricky with our clock sometimes. It's as accurate as we can make it, but occasionally it's not. And Safdarian is on a 38, so that is the top hold. Is it the top hold for him? Yes, no, 39. So he was timed out just before the top, according to our live scores. Okay, so our second co-commentator is from Team Spain in the commentary box. So Javier, hello, sir. Nice for you to join me. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I started doing ice climbing like 4 years ago, and I love this world. And I've been like training a lot for this sport all these 4 years. I compete in Continental Cups and in the World Cups. I didn't have the pleasure to be in semifinals yet, but I hope
it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming, I'm sure. Well, look, you're a fairly young athlete coming through. The gentleman on screen, Tristan Ladevant, very experienced. Do you learn a lot from watching people like him?
Yeah, for sure. When you watch these people, you see them like so confident, and you like they climb a lot different. It's like it's another sport, you know. Like they climb so fast, they all the time know where to put their axes, how to move, and everything they do, you learn something.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about Spanish ice climbing, because obviously I know Spain for sport climbing, bouldering, and less so for ice climbing.
Actually, there's not much ice climbing. I mean, we started because selection training to know who would come with the federation, but nobody knew how to do ice climbing.
Mm-hmm.
And we started like training a bit, watching the comps, and then we came to one comp, and after that was when we really learned how to do that. Like, we learned after the first comp.
Amazing. Wow. So you're literally learning on the job how to
Yeah.
do it. It's incredible stuff. All right. Well, Tristan Ladevant is climbed very fast through the first section, as we'd expect. And on the left, Haruko Takachi from Japan. Now, Haruko did a big European tour earlier in the season for the Continental Cup. She was in Bern and Amsterdam. So she's been training in Europe before returning back to Japan. And she's one to watch. She's a good climber and could make finals here. But a technical start to this competition for her. The women's route, much harder down low, whereas the men's harder higher up so far, I think. And what do you think of the dyno?
They are crazy. Like, for example, in the men's route, the dyno is like so far, and you have to just be confident and try, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what will happen. You just...
We were talking to Tabitha, who was here before you. I can't believe how brave you guys are doing the dynos. Like, I can think of nothing more terrifying than dynoing with ice axes.
Actually, in the comps, is so different. I mean, when you're training, you are super scared, but when you are in the comps, you don't think about that.
So the adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just think on, I have to go, I want to take it, so just go for it.
Absolutely. Well, Tristan now is halfway through the ice barrels, flicks those feet around, and he's got to get these awkward clips in. Haruko down around about halfway through her route. And hello to YouTube. Keep your questions coming. If you've got any questions about some... I think you've got a fan, actually, from Alicia, who's saying, Vamos Pedras bien comentato, which I've got no idea what that means, but I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
There we go. All right, well, Tristan rotates through. And now this move, it's interesting, isn't it? This down climb sequence.
Yeah, it's something that you don't usually train for it, but normally we train in a small walls, so the only thing you can do is like go to the right or to the left.
True.
Or up and down.
That's true, actually.
So normally you train more for that than you should, so it's not a difficult part, you know?
Yeah, that's a really good point, because a lot of athletes have, as you say, either home gyms, but they're very small, so you guess you've got to go up and down on them. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Well, he's got to go down in a minute as Tristan Ladevant. You can see that nose strip. I think that's part of his training. He trains very, very hard. In fact, the brothers have an interesting method because they flew into Korea very late and they're leaving as soon as possible because they don't want to get used to Korean time. So they want to not be jet lagged for Europe, which I thought was interesting. It's a method anyway. How's your jet lag?
I'm not sure if that works because last year the Spanish team we did the same.
Yeah.
And it didn't work at all.
Did it not?
We were completely asleep everywhere.
Didn't the Spanish team miss the bus last year? Did you have to get a car or something?
Yeah,
yes.
We had to get a taxi because we came late to the bus.
Amazing. Well, Tristan gets set for the dyno here. This is a risky move. I think it's kind of 50-50, this jump, whether you make it or not. He's trying to drop down to the volume and get himself set.
And it's not only the take it, it's to remain on the hold, you know?
Yeah, and he can't remain on the hold. He falls straight out of that axe. Wow.
That's surprising. He was one of the favorites.
He had the axe deep in the hold as well.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have enough power, you know? You are pumped.
Yeah, you basically got to sort of catch your full body weight on one arm and hold it. So it's pretty tough. Oh, was that your mum who was on the commentary? Oh, okay, I didn't realise. So that was... That's amazing. That was Javier's mum saying hello. Hello, Javier's mum. How you doing? That's lovely. Oh, I love this sport. Right, Haruko is moving through these ice barrels now. She's been on the wall for quite a while. She's going to be approaching nearly sort of the last couple of minutes of her time here. So she might have to pick things up a bit. And this move, because your feet are hanging in the air, it's really core intensive. It's a lot to deal with.
Those type of moves are so powerful. You need to be strong of the core and all of that.
All right, well, she makes that first transition over to the right. These huge ice barrels that they've held their form quite well. Last year it was very warm and they were dripping, making the athletes quite wet. Here it's cold at the moment, so they're keeping frozen, which is good to see. You can see Shin at the top. She was the only athlete so far to top the route, but lots of strong athletes to come here. All right, so she transitions over now, crosses those legs over. She'll want to shake out. She hasn't made that clip, and it's kind of behind her now. Might be a bit awkward.
It's impressive how she continues climbing. Like, she goes slow, but she doesn't stop, you know? She goes with a constant rhythm.
Yeah, that's a good spot. But about a minute and a half as well, so it could be enough to get towards the top of this women's pack, which is very tightly bunched towards the top. But I think pump really plays a part in this top sequence.
Yeah, this move doesn't look so hard, but you get so pumped.
Yes, you do. Oh, no, she drops that axe. She left it behind. We saw someone else do that earlier, leave it, but it knocks down. Now, technically, she can carry on climbing here. But she's on ice. Yeah, what does she do? Exactly that. I mean, you could use your hands in the ice, but it's not going to happen. You know, you've got to try it, but she is in a lot of trouble here right now. So she's dropped that axe. And she's going to have to, I mean, what are you going to do? She's got crimping the ice. Oh, it's an absolute nightmare for an ice climber, this. The tool on the ground, she's still hanging on. She could theoretically hang there for the next 30 seconds or so, but she's not going to improve her score. So what do? Do you try to just jump for the next hole, try to get some points? It's pretty tough, this. Yeah, she eventually gives up to the inevitable and she will go back down to the ground in fourth. All right, well, that's a moment we don't want to see, but it's part of the drama of this sport. And there is the ice axe on the ground where it fell. It bounced a long way off the stage. Javier, talk to me about falling ice axes, because isn't that really dangerous and scary?
Yes and no. I mean, here you go directly to the air, so there's no problem. Maybe the axe can hit you, but it doesn't have enough weight to do something to you. But for example, when training, it's more dangerous because you are like so close to the floor, and maybe you can fall and just put all your weight to the axe.
Yeah. So, and we've seen some puncture wounds, you know, axes going into athletes. You know, this is what I'm trying to say for people listening at home. This is an extreme sport. It's badass, and the athletes deserve so much respect for what they do. It's just incredible. Okay, who are we watching here? We are watching Seol Kim Min after that fall from Tristan Ladevant on the dyno. And over on the left, Sung Young Park will be coming on for the women in a couple of minutes. And the Korean team, such a strong squad here they brought to the competition. And he's moving through these ice axes, so these ice barrels. Tell me, the holes he's in, they are nice and deep, aren't they, for the tools?
Yeah, they are. I think they are made. I mean, you can put your full axe inside, so there's no problem.
Yeah, so it is a good
The problem
hole.
there is to reach the next hole, not to maintain it there.
Yeah, and they're marked with the blue spray, so the athletes aren't guessing. And it's kind of our nod to the ice climbing roots of this sport. And it's another thing people talk about a lot is, oh, it's not ice climbing. Well, it is. It's just ice is too easy, basically, for the athletes and too hard to maintain. They're just too good. We need to put those dry tooling holds on to challenge them. But I like sections like this on the ice. It's good to see. So Kim,
yeah, and those sections makes more harder, like the rest of the route, because you get so pumped. They are so physical.
Yeah, because the crampons themselves and the axes aren't necessarily designed for ice. They're better on dry tooling.
Yeah, they work so much better on dry tooling. And if you had to pinch in the ice, it wouldn't work.
Yeah. Yes, I don't like seeing professional dry toolers climbing up vertical ice walls with those tools because it just looked really sketchy, you know. We had in Edmonton on that vertical surface and everyone just looked so scared climbing up. Well, Korean team supporting in those amazing long jackets they have that I've been jealous of all weekend. And now, look, he goes dropping down into this undercling. That was a smooth move from Kim. And he has a look at the ice barrel, which is way out left away from him. And this is the section you think the athletes actually might be quite good at because they're so used to training up and down.
And normally those sections are not hard enough to make someone fall. I mean, they don't want someone to fall there.
Yeah, exactly. You want them to get to this dyno, really, don't you? But you do want them maybe to be a bit pumped by the time they get there, so it's harder. And we're seeing a lot of athletes fall here. You can see on our leaderboard on the left how tight the grouping is. One left foot on the volume, drops down, nearly knocked his own axe off there, hit it quite hard with the right. And that's really risky. He's just got his thumb holding it.
Yeah, those volumes are hard to hit, so it's risky to be only with the feet there.
All right, he has a look to the left. Has a long look out, gets himself set. He's got no hands. That's so cool. Double ice axes. That's something from a computer game move there. Call of Duty styly as he jumps over. That was wicked to see. Right, makes a hook over. Flicks that right leg over. Come on, YouTube chat. What do you think of that move, eh? Anton's enjoying that one from Kim. Wow, that was cool. Okay, well, he's through that cruxy jump. And now has a shot for the finals, I think. I think for the athletes who are going to make finals, you need to get through that jump. So he's on that nasty... What is that hold? It looks like a rhino horn to me. Is it got any edges on it, or is it completely smooth?
It doesn't look like that.
Oh. So you think it's just a sort of a smooth, slight curve to it, but not much?
It's like the angle of the volume makes it better. But it's just a wrap that did take it and try to don't move it.
I saw a move in Bern where the athletes dynoed to a downward sloping pipe.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was disgusting. I'd never want to do that. Oh, he's in a bit of trouble here, though, as Kim pushes off the ice barrel, falls away, and that's left him down in third with a score of 30. Suddenly seemed to get hard very quickly for him. Breathing heavily as he comes down here. Okay, so 5 athletes remaining for the men who have been falling early. 7 athletes remaining for the women. Had to do some counting there. Always risky. And this is Sun Young Park for Korea, who is halfway through the really physical bottom section of the women's route. And 5 minutes 12-ish left on the clock. So lots of time to do this. Women have 7 minutes on the clock. Okay, so she makes a match now. And matches, I presume, like that are pretty tricky because you'll be very accurate with how you place the pick.
Yeah, and it depends on the hole. Like, there are some holes that you can match so easily, but there are others that have one little spot, and if you're not there, you are out.
Gone, yeah. You've got to be so careful. Remember, the athletes, although they get to look at it from the ground, they haven't seen the holds themselves. So, Park making this clip here. And she looks up left, down in 10th at the moment. Only one top so far on this route. And next for the men, we've got Youngyeon Lee, who is underway on the right-hand side. So he's started climbing now. And again, one of these really horrible wraps. A smaller rhino horn this time. She's not comfortable with that. On the reverse grip as well with that left hand. Has a little cheeky look out left as she gingerly puts her weight onto the hold. And there is Youngyeon Lee over on the right. He won the overall title last year. And yeah, I think absolutely one to watch for this one. I'm pretty sure he won the gold medal here last year as well. So he would like to make that the double as well. Hello, Jai Scovery from the Netherlands. He says, wow, from that previous dyno. Yep. Well done, everyone who's watching and enjoying the action here with us today as Park starts to rest. Now, what would you do for this move for the women? Because some have fig forward it, some have stretched.
I would normally just go for it, like blocking.
Mm-hmm. Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's more intelligent to do the figure four. Because
why?
you don't risk the move. Like when you go blocking, you move your axe and the angle change.
Ah, okay.
So it's much more probable that you slip.
But is a figure four not very powerful to do that? Because you have to sort of, or is it more restful?
No, it's more powerful.
Okay.
You spend more energy.
Okay. So powerful but less risky, maybe. Yeah. Okay, I understand. All right, well, Park has a look over to the ice. She's done good work on the dry tooling section. She knows she needs to get some energy back in those arms, though, because it's really pumpy in a minute. Reaches deep, goes up, fig four in, and here we go, into the ice for both athletes. Youngyeon Lee as well, who has really climbed quickly through the bottom section of this route. Makes the long clip in the middle. And this is the athletes climbing towards each other, converging into the middle of this wall. So, Sun Young flicks the right leg over, gets the clip in nicely. This is good climbing from her so far. Drives that foot in, another fig four. And keep an eye on Youngyeon as well, because he is about to enter this first really hard move where you've got to come up round the corner into what's kind of a wrap, maybe. And by the way, these sheets that are covering the wall, the big north face sheets, that's because the finals routes will finish up there, and we don't want to give too much away to the athletes. As you can see, that cloth billowing at the top. Are you excited to watch the finals later on?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's one Spanish guy that is now mathematically in. So.
Oh, hang on a sec, because look at this from Park. She's hanging off with one arm, nearly lost it here. That will have cost her a lot of energy as she toe hooks around the side. Kind of hooks the quick draw. She's in some trouble here. Ah, she does fall eventually. Wow, well, that was a dramatic moment. Suddenly went to pieces on that one. Those legs dropping down. Had to do that really sort of a front lever move to get your feet back up above your head.
Yeah, and normally when you lose your feet is because you are pumped and you are going to fall. I mean, you can fight a bit, but normally it's because your body is going to the limit, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see it suddenly, can't you? Wow, well, that got dramatic quickly there. And it's about to get even more dramatic because Youngyeon Lee is approaching the dyno. Now, his feet are really high. I wonder if he's going to jump from this position or if he's going to... No, now he drops back down onto the volume. Little bobble there with the feet. Holds the match. And now he gets himself for this leap to the left. Flicks the head around the rope, looks over towards the ice barrel, trying to gauge the range. Can he do this? We know he's good at dynoing. Lands it. No, that's a surprise. Well, perhaps one of the favourites, maybe out of this competition. And dizzy as he comes down.
Seeing how it's going, I think maybe some people that fall in the dyno will go to the finals.
It's very tight, isn't it? I mean, we're going to have to see. The judges are going to make some decisions on that one. And there is the Korean team who are watching on. Wow. Well, YouTube, let's give you a shout out here. Terranova99 from Belgium to Javier. And he thinks you're an amazing all-round climber and a great commentator. So maybe a friend of yours there. Yeah, do let me know if you're enjoying the competition. What do you think of these routes so far, YouTube chat? I'm enjoying the men's dyno. I think the bottom half of the route is pretty straightforward, but the dyno bit is really exciting. And the women's, I'm surprised we haven't seen more tops on the women's. Only one so far. So I think a pretty tough one for the women at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like the roof is so powerful for them, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. All right, well, a legend is on stage. Emir McSwiggan coming. Oh, no, she's not Emir yet. Sorry. So that's interesting. This is Vivian Labrielle. So not quite sure what's happened to Emir because she was meant to climb next. So we'll find out. I'm going to send some messages right now, so see if we can work it out. But yeah, Vivian is in. All right, so Vivian Labrielle climbing for Switzerland in place of Emil McSwiggan. I'm not sure quite what happened to that one, if the maybe our starting lists are wrong here, but we'll work it out in a minute. But Vivian Labrielle, meanwhile, will get underway down low into the first of the Stein pools. First time we've really seen some of these holds in detail. Interesting to see that women's route. And for the men, we have Jun Kyo Park underway. All right, so Park, meanwhile, hanging on a pretty tenuous hold down low, but none of the men have had a huge issue with this one as he comes into the side pool. Ollie on YouTube saying, hasn't watched that much ice climbing, but I really find this so neat. So yes, wall neat, yes, so he's enjoying it. Yeah, quite a few new people joining us for this sport, which is cool. Nice to see you newbies out. We have 5 events throughout the season. And we're just being told that, yeah, Emir is next after Vivian Labrielle, just to let you know. So I'm not sure why that order was there, but that's what's going on with that. So Emir is out next. Okay, so Jun Kyo Park is into the ice barrel, the first or second of the ice barrels on his route. And Vivian, Vivian with a massive foot pop on the left there, a big slip from her. Yeah, those feet skating away underneath it. I really managed to save that. And tell me, Javier, that moment, how does it make you feel as an athlete? You know, when your heart rate goes up, is it quite difficult to calm down after you have a slip?
It depends. For me, it was so difficult, like long time ago. But now I have you develop some strategies to learn how to calm down, to be more quiet before going for a route.
And that comes with experience for you, learning those methods to cope with it?
Yeah, but you have to work on it. You know, if you just continue coming, you won't improve your mental skills.
Interesting, because we talk.
Just you have to think. Okay, I will try that. I will do that, and after some competitions, you learn how to deal with it.
Yeah, because we talk a lot about physicality in ice climbing, but I think a lot of it, especially when you're at the top level, is mental as well.
Yeah, for me, it's more mental than physical. I mean, obviously there is a physical component, but last year, for example, I didn't have my best year, but the change from last year to this one was so big without too much training.
Ah, interesting.
Like the difference was more that I worked on it and I tried to learn how to deal with it.
That's so. And your results, have you seen better? Well, I know I'm saying that's unfair. It's only competition number 1, isn't it? So maybe there's more to come. But yeah, I can't wait to watch and see that. I'll keep an eye next time you climb.
Yeah,
see if I can see.
At least in the Continental Cup, it has worked better.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, well, Vivian Labrielle is into the ice barrels now. She's working her way through holds 20 to 22. And Jun Kyo Park is, as every athlete has done, just struggling slightly here on this move. You got to get yourself set up properly. And now he's got his legs dangling, kicks into the sidewall. Hanging off on just one arm. There's only 2 points of contact here as he gets the Steinpool locked in, and now he will breathe a sigh of relief as he drops down onto a better hold. Vivian, meanwhile, on the barrels. And everyone starts to look tired for the women at this point in the route. Jun, meanwhile, starts dropping down towards the bad gold hold on the left. Gets it, matches, gets himself set, looks left. Here we go, dyno time, everyone. Hold your breaths. He goes for the... Oh, no, a slip as he did it. Those crampons. And you can see how disappointed he is. I don't speak Korean, but I have a feeling there's a few swear words in there because he is absolutely devastated at that one. Those feet just skating away from him as he made the jump. Wow, well, Vivian still going. I thought she was looking pumped, and I hear it. Yeah, I thought she was looking pumped, but I think she's okay. Minute 23-ish on the clock here, so she's approaching her end, but she has got time to finish this route if she goes quick.
One thing about the top athletes is that even if they are so pumped, they can continue like for 2 or 3 more minutes doing like crazy things, you know?
And how do you train for that? Is it just hours of repetition?
Yeah, I guess.
Just round and round and round in circles. Oh, Vivian spirals out, so she's gone quickly. Back down to the ground. I think that should be enough for finals, though, because we are approaching what's going on. And I just wanted to just point out to everyone that we were talking about Aneta being sick earlier on in the competition and how ill she was. That means she has made finals, which is kind of crazy. She was out 4th, so she's in the finals. She's going to have to dig deep once more. And we know that Shin is definitely in. In fact, there's you can go onto the UIAA results. I'll have a little look myself here because I want to let you know what's going on. Let me just pull up my app here. Oh, which doesn't seem to work for me, but there we go. I'll have a little look. You can look at the live results as they go to find out what's going on. So, 2 athletes done. We pull the ropes. Emia McSwiggan is out next. I got a bit confused because of the rankings that I've been given, but Emia will follow us from Ireland. I know she's got some big supporters. Jumuk James says he's been climbing on rock for a long time. This makes him want to get back on the ice. Such a unique style. Yes, James, you've got to. Absolutely, you got to. What country are you in, James? Let us know. We can maybe point you in the right direction of a dry tooling wall. Moritz asks a good question. What is the difference between dry tooling and ice climbing? Well, they're kind of the same sport, the same category. The reason we call it ice climbing is because that's where it traditionally came from, but ice is just simply too easy for these athletes to climb and too difficult to maintain. We have to have the dry tooling holds in order to increase the difficulty and also allow some creativity for our route setters. So it is still ice climbing, but kind of the elite level of it, if that makes sense. Okay, Benjamin Bossard. Javier, tell me a bit about Benjamin, because again, a very strong athlete.
He's very strong, and mentally, for me, is one of the best in the competitions because he don't care about anything. More or less like Jonathan Brown. Like all the guys from Switzerland are the same. Like they don't care, they just focus, go for it, and whatever they do, like they do it well, you know.
Okay, so he's very composed on the wall. So, and I mean, look, he's qualified in a strong position in 3rd. He should really make finals if he has a good semi-final. I'm expecting him to get in here, but anything can happen in ice climbing, can't it? Well, on the way, on the left is Emia. There she is, just wiggling that tool in. So this lady is so interesting. She's the athlete representative. She lived in Korea for years before moving back to Ireland in the last couple of years. So she's very used to these gyms. And she has these ice axes that I love talking about because she's designed them herself. This is the 2nd iteration of these axes. She designs them, someone else makes them, and she's got this triple handle that you can see there that not many athletes use. Do you use a triple handle or a double handle on yours?
It's a triple handle, but much different from that. Like it's similar to the Krukonogi one that has 2 handle and then one that you can use but not to progress, just to change the hands.
Okay, so it's not one you can pull down on so hard. Okay. Well, Benjamin Bossard has climbed super quick. We've got 4 minutes 30 on the clock left, so fast climbing from him. And then Emia, who didn't have the best competition in Korea last year. So it's a bit of revenge for her on a wall that she loves climbing on. I know she would dearly, in ideal circumstances, perhaps live in Korea, but the situations are different. Benjamin drops these legs. Oh, now he drops it down, managing to make some space. And James, by the way, is in Colorado area, so he's going to the UIAA Ice Festival. I think the Ice Coop in Boulder might be near you, James, if you want to hit those guys up. I'm not sure if Ice Coop people are listening. I think they are. Ice Coop people, let us know how to find you. Right, now Benjamin. With that right trouser leg rolled up, is that going to make it easier for the Fig Fours, do you think, the way he's got that trouser rolled, or is that just what's happened?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like,
I thought it was a deliberate little bit of a skin out there. Yes, you're right. I think it's just rolled up. Fair enough. Oh, this was a new tactic by the ice climbers. Benjamin drops down nicely, has a Stein pull locked in now. Now, Benjamin is very new school. He'll be used to jumps like this, so this should suit him, this big leap to the left. Has a look at the ice barrel, gets himself set, looks down at the ground. Here we go. What can Benjamin do? A little slip as he left the ground. Oh, but he's managed to hold it. Yeah, there was a little moment where his crampon seemed to slide. All right, wraps the leg over.
He's going really fast. Maybe he has the time to get to the top.
I think, especially for the men's competition, speed seems so important. Like, you have to be able to climb fast.
For me, the most difficult is to learn how to deal with going fast, but not forgetting to be precise, you know?
Yeah, because it's risky, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes when you try to go fast, you suddenly fail because you didn't put your attention on anything.
And of course, there's one chance and only 5 World Cups. So, you know, the pressure that you have to deal with is a lot. Well, Benjamin buries that ice axe in, upgrades the grip, flicks over the leg as he approaches the plywood once more, kicking those feet in. One leg left behind. And Emir is about to launch into the ice barrels on the left to let you know where she's at. Benjamin almost getting hit by the ice barrel there. Okay, wraps the axe around, kicks these legs through, puts it over, rocks down onto it. Good work from Benjamin Bossard, and he's in second place. And do remember that Safdarian, he didn't top the route out. He was timed out 1 hole before the top. I know we were a bit confused at the beginning about that one, but yeah. Timed out just before the top for him. So there is still a potential first top here. Javier, do you think the moves get harder up on the head wall?
Yeah, for sure. Like, those moves in the end are so powerful, and you have to be really, really strong.
All right, so technical, powerful moves. Has Benjamin got anything left in the tank here as he reaches around the corner, kicks the left leg in? This is confident climbing from this man. He's been coming for a long time. People have had his name on their lips for a while. Last clip in. From here on, it's just pure climbing from Benjamin Bossard. About 30 seconds left on the clock as well. Nasty floating Stein pull here. Next hold is a real horror show. Look at it shining in the sunlight. Oh, I would hate to hook that thing. Commits to it, kicks, and he does slide off it. I said it was a nasty one. Benjamin Bossard, but that will be easily enough for finals for him.
Thank you for your good work. It was Benjamin Bossard representing Switzerland.
Okay, well, we'll see Emir in a minute because she's doing really well, meanwhile, for the women. But Benjamin, that's his fall. He's disappointed, but yes, as you can tell. Right, so Emir on the ice barrels. Only Shin has topped this thing out yet. Can Emir find something? She was battling with an injury last season that held her back a bit. She's injury-free now and climbing with so much more fluidity in her movements. So Emir into Fig Fours now, into the ice barrel, and she's now onto the plywood. This is great work from her. I think this will move her into second place if she can get the next couple of moves. All right, so a wrap around. Oh, huge wild swing for Emir on that hold, and it's still stuck, buried into that stymple above her head. That is it's such a weird thing to see. But Emir goes down. She gets caught by the belays. A really big swing. That quick draw clipped way, way back. And breathing hard here from Emir, but that will be enough for finals. She's trying to look for some confirmation. We know she's in. Wow, what a climb from Emir. That was cool there. Hello to Melody Sarah, by the way, on the YouTube chat. Says, yay, Ice Coop, definitely come and see us. So Melody, I presume, is an Ice Coop regular. So Emir's ice axe, you can just see it here. Let's watch a replay of this because it happened so fast. She just lost the feet. Stein was in well, but the feet popped and slid around. And there is...
it looks like she was so pumped to keep the hold, you know.
All right, so the second to last man comes out. Virgil Devin. Now, he is a big, strong climber, isn't he?
He's one of the strongest now on the circuit.
Yeah.
In the Continental Cups, I don't remember, but I think he only went to Bern, and he went to the final easily.
Yeah, he's one to watch, part of this sort of French crew that travel around. Very strong and good training facilities.
He won in Sassfield last year, so he's getting better and better.
Yeah, it was great when he won. I think a bit of a surprise that he won, perhaps, but it just shows how much quality he has got, how much potential, maybe I should say, he's got. All right, so Virgil, nice and confident down at the bottom. Just two men remaining. Quite a few more women going. The women, longer route. John says, "How ice climbers ever worried about ice axes falling on them? Do you worry about ice axes hitting you?"
Not really. I mean, you have the helmet, so if they hit you, they won't do you too much. You know, you won't get hurt.
Okay, well, you're a braver man than me. I'd definitely be worried about it. And what you certainly don't want to do is try to catch the things it falls. That can be tempting. You don't want to grab it, let it fall. All right, Virgin up to the first of the good wraps, and then climbing down on the left, that's Lorena Beck. Liechtenstein representing.
The 13th female player, Lorena Beck, representing Liechtenstein.
Okay, so Virgin onto the ice barrels here, reaches up. And here we go, flicks the legs over. Good work from Virgil so far. You can see our photographers there hanging off the structure, getting some great photos, and I'm pretty sure the UIAA are posting it on their Instagram channel, so you can go and follow the UIAA Instagram as well, if you haven't already. And Javier, what's your Instagram? We should shout you out. Oh, you've written down. We'll put it on screen in a second. Sorry, I wasn't aware we'd already done that. So please go and follow and support our athletes who are in the commentary box, because they're giving up our time, and really nice to see. There we go, up on screen. So thank you. So that's Javier's Instagram there. Okay, so both athletes in shots. Lorena Beck down on the bottom left. Virgil. No problem so far for Virgil. He looks good.
He's going a bit slow to be him, but...
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. So 3 minutes 30 and a long way to go. I think for the men, this next section with the ice barrels seems to take quite a long time to get through.
But I think for Virgil, it won't be a problem. He's used to do that type of moves, you know.
Yeah, he had to really unwind there, drop those legs down. Now he's kicked it in, and this Steinpull, as you can see from that angle, is a good one for these athletes. So as you can see, he'll shake out there for a moment. Got to commit to some pretty tenuous holds after it. He wants a finger in that hold. We've only seen one other athlete do it. Good bit of finger work there, but the pick was much better, I think. All right, looks left into the ice barrel. And I think he's looking to do this statically. Wow, the only athlete to try this. Let's find out if it will work. No, it doesn't work. He was so stretched out in that position, and
yeah, and he changed the angle of the axe, so that's an easy fall.
Yeah, because I have a feeling he sort of saw that in the moment. Like he would have, when he read the route, he'll have thought it was a dyno, but maybe changed his mind when he was up there.
I'm not sure about that because I was in isolation before with a Spanish guy, and the French team told us that they would do it like that.
Oh, that's interesting. So they planned it.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Maybe Tristan changed his mind, but I think they planned that before.
So with Luna, who's out next for the French team, we might see another beater like that. That will be very interesting. That's good insider knowledge, Javier. Nice one. Nice spy in the camps. I like this. I like having spies out there for me. It's good. All right, we're watching Lorena Beck here as she approaches the ice barrel section, easy through the bottom half of the route. Makes the clips. Lorena Beck is another very experienced member of our ice climbing crew. I'd certainly put her name down for a potential finals place. You can see Shin, the only athlete to top, and Lorena down in 19th, so a lot of climbing to go for her. And about 3 minutes left on the clock, which is in touch with the others. Gets that longer quick draw clipped with no real problems. Got to be a little bit careful with that rope behind, but quickly out, stretches through. And I'm impressed with how confident she is on these moves. No hesitating, just committing to the sequences. Rural Ramper asks, what happens if the ice barrels break in the competition? It would be a massive problem, is the short answer. They're designed to not break. They're very strong structurally, and obviously a lot of work goes into that. I've never seen it happen. If it did happen, it would be a big issue. I'm not sure what we would do. It would certainly be a technical incident.
I'm not sure about that.
Have you seen it happen?
No, I never see it happen.
Okay.
But in the rules, it's written that if the ice breaks, it's your fault. I mean,
really? So if the ice barrel breaks in half? Wow, okay, fair enough. Well, I've been told. Well, there you go. You've got to deal with it. Would they be replaced by a new one? I guess so. Like a hold would be replaced. Yeah, I think they have spare ice barrels stored away somewhere. Oh, now this is a long clip back above her head for Lorraine Beck here. Has Lorraine just... That's smart. So she knocks it with the tool to keep it swinging. That means she can grab it. Does it again. Just in touch. And she worked out that problem well. Fiddles it in. Well done, Lorena Beck there. And the shouting, by the way, I think is mainly for Luna Ladevant, who's getting screamed up the wall by his teammates. He's underway on the right, the last of the men to climb. This is good for Lorena. She's already into fifth, so she's into finals. Gets the wrap in, drops the legs down, uses that ice barrel, kicks up. Great work from her. And there you can see Luna Ladevant on the right-hand side, qualified in the top spot for this semi-final. Has won multiple competitions before and is a bit of a celebrity on the circuit. Is Luna Ladevant and his brother Tristan. This is the hard move. We've seen some big falls here. Lorena commits to the sequence, works the feet over, holds the swing. Oh, nearly holds the swing. She'll want to get this clip in pretty soon. It's a big old fall if you can't. And I think she's pumped it. Oh, she's not. Oh, goodness me, this is terrifying. I think she's still in the realms of safety here, but she really wants to get this next clip in. And I think she's gone a bit too far past it. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to reach this.
Maybe she can reach it with the axe, but...
I don't think so, you know. Oh, maybe... Oh, no, it's so far. My heart is in my mouth watching this. This is a real big one, yeah. She looks left and then no, swings. And that is the big pendulum I was talking about. Nice and safe. Good setting from the setters. Making sure there's nothing to hit on the way down. Whew, I was getting nervous for her. I've got some sweaty fingers. So Lorena Beck is down. Okay, so Luna Ladevant, you get to concentrate on him. Final male athlete out and about tonight. Tonight? This morning. I forgot what time of day it is. We've been speaking for so long. It's going to 10:30, by the way, in South Korea here in the morning. How's the jet lag this year, Javier? You all right with it?
Yeah, this year was much better.
Okay.
We came like 3 days before the competition, and
Oh, that's better. All right, so Luna... Oh, no! Luna bobbles off that hold. So, one of the favourites is out of the finals. Luna will not progress. He's down in 13th. He shrugs over to the French crowd. And he's out, yeah. He can't believe that.
that's a big surprise.
Huge shocker, isn't it? Luna Ladevant goes. He was adjusting the tools. And he's talking, I don't know who he's talking. I'm not sure if he's talking to judges or if he's talking to teammates on that one. Because he looks kind of angry, which would imply, I didn't see the whole break. I think he's more just shocked. I'm watching out of my window. Yeah, he's talking to his teammates. He's talking to Virgil, who also fell in near the same spot. Yeah, so no incidences in terms of technical stuff. That was a pure slip from Luna Ladevant. Wow, some drama at the very end there. Okay. Marianne van der Stier is out from the Netherlands. She's been featured heavily on our On Thin Ice documentary, which is a 5-part series that the team did here last season. And do go and follow her story because it's a really interesting one. She dedicates her life to this sport, and you can watch that documentary free on YouTube. So go and check that out. Right, Marianne, underway. And you must have watched her going up climbing. Marianne, you must have seen her climbing for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. And this year I had the pleasure to go training with them because I am living in Belgium. So I went to their home where they have a little wall, and she's so strong. I mean, it's surprising how they can do those things in that little wall. They have a group of training. They work too much to make this happen.
Yeah, it is really good what they do because they support the local Netherlands climbing as well. So I know she's going as a coach to the Youth World Championships in UIAA, and she's really giving back to the sport whilst also trying to win. She won her first medal recently, and just super impressive athlete. And I love the pink tools. I love the pink on the ice climbing tools. So she's got a lot of support from you guys. John and Marco are cheering her on. Marianne has some technical moves to do, though, before hitting the ice barrels. So the men's route, remember, is done. So we will say goodbye to that. The rankings will come through after this. And our top 8 at the moment: Wunshen Shin, Lorena Beck, Ema McSwingen, Aneta Luzhetska in 4th, Vivian Labriel 5th, Olga Kosek 6th, Haruko in 7th, and then Shabnam in 8th. And there are 3 athletes to go. So Shabnam in a little bit of the danger zone, sitting in 8th spot at the moment. All right, so Marianne, up she goes, hooks into this, what would you call that, like a side pull?
Yeah, this would be a mix of side pull and floater, I don't know.
Yeah, a bit of both, into the wrap. And makes this match on the tools. And that's all she's holding on to. That's a great shot. It's such a nasty hold, that. It's got a little bit of a flat spot on it, but not very much.
This type of holes, you can't move it. And here in the overhang is much harder because the angle changes, and normally your body gets out of the wall, you know?
Yeah. Yes, you've been pushed back away from the hold as well. That's a good point, yeah. Pandemonium is saying, can they touch the holds or the ice barrels with their hands? Yes, you can. You can do that. Theoretically, you can climb the whole route with your hands. It's just you don't want to do that. And those pockets...
It would be so crazy to climb that routes with the hands.
In Sasfei, we see a lot of moves with the hands. I think the setters there quite like those moves. And occasionally a hold will be better with the hands. But yeah, nice tools.
Actually, you have to carry your axis. So if you go climbing with both hands, it will be massively hard, you know.
That's true. Now look at this. Marianne was struggling to find that pocket. Now she gets it in. Just tiptoed that axe over the ice. All right, she makes the match.
I think this section for her won't be a problem. Like, they train a lot on the roof, so...
Yeah, she's got a tree, hasn't she, and her climbing wall kind of suspended like an ice barrel.
Yeah, almost half of their wall is a roof, and then they have the wooden thing to do those type of figure fours and all of that. So yeah, they train a lot of that type of moves.
Yeah, she'll be doing laps back and forth. Now she wiggles the ice axe out. Will make this tricky clip, but isn't steady yet. She's going to commit to it, though. No feet, just 1 point of contact here. Crazy move. Dennis, her travel partner, life partner, screaming up at the wall. He also competes for the Netherlands. So Marianne into the ice barrel, taking the ice axe with her. Some have left it behind. She takes it with her, which is smart, I think. This is good for Marianne. She's got plenty of time as well. 2 minutes on the clock. Right, plywood ahead of her here. She's done really well to move so smoothly through these barrels. And you can hear Dennis in the background screaming up at her, full support. She looks down towards the ice barrel, decides on a high heel hook on the ice barrel. Wow. And remember, there's no spurs on the back of these crampons. There used to be, there aren't anymore. So it's just rubber on ice, not very nice. You can see a zoomed in shot of those specialist boots there. This is a power move though, and she's got plenty of power, but can she hold the swing? Drops into it. Good work from Marianne. And a minute left. We could see our second top here. We might see a second one.
Yeah. She looks so strong now.
Okay, leg wrapped over. And you can see a good shot. It's just a screw sticking out of a resin hold. Really nasty, but she's done well. Upgrades the feet. Cracks in a fig four on that screw. And the top is in sight. Are we about to see our second top? This will put her in first position, jumping ahead of Shin. And I think that's going to be it for Marianne as she reaches up, gets the clip in, needs to wiggle it through, needs to make that match, does. And that's our second top, and that puts her in the top spot position. That looked easy. What was the problem, she thinks?
She did a great job. Please give her a round of applause.
So let's have a look at the results from the men's competition. Remember, these are provisional results after appeals. We're looking for our top 8, and there they are. So our top 8 with Tristan Ladavant squeaking in down at the bottom. And Virgil as well, he fell on the jump. So you were right, a couple of athletes falling on the jump but still making it. But Safdarian, the closest to the top 38, just one hold away. He did finish the route, but he was timed out one hold before. So that's our top 8 for the men as things stand. We'll see our top 8 for the women after the next 2 climbers, Jessina Gertz and Catalina Shirley to go. So, Javier, tell me a bit about Spanish climbers. If Spanish climbers want to just start ice climbing, how should they do it? Who should they contact?
Probably they could contact me or Javi Cano, that is the biggest person in this world. Or maybe if they are near to Madrid or something like that, they could go to Israel Blanco or Enoch.
So is Madrid the main place for dry tooling gym?
Not really. There's a gym in Madrid, but we have our most important training wall is in Extremadura, in a little city where we live, most of us.
Okay. So it's like a community of ice climbing.
There are like 2 groups, the group from Madrid and the group from Extremadura.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, fascinating. Well, we saw a little bit of sunshine start to creep in. The stadium will warm up a little bit. It was minus 13 when we got in the car this morning. And it was pretty cold here. I walked into where the athletes were warming up and they were trying to warm up, just huddled around fires in tents. But things are warming up now as Sina Gertz gets underway. Penultimate female athlete out. And 2 tops now for the women's route. YouTube chat, if you're in Europe, you're still doing very well. It's very early in the morning. Is anyone still in Europe watching us? Do let me know. They win a prize that the UIAA will send to you. Just contact them, ask for the prize. It's a very good one, I hear. All right, so Sina Gertz from Switzerland is another one to watch here. Really strong, very powerful athlete.
Yeah, the guys and girls from Switzerland are always so powerful because they have their gym there, the Sassfi gym. And I don't know how many times they train there, but it's obvious that if you have this at home, you can train much more than the others.
Yeah, you're talking about the World Cup wall, right? That we get to go to next week. That's the next World Cup. And yeah, it goes through the middle of a car park. It's so cool. Alaskan Donut, great name, says this is awesome. It is awesome, isn't it? I agree. Pandemonium is still watching. It's kind of late in the evening. Pandemonium, you've done very well. You can sleep. Actually, you can't sleep. It's finals later on. The finals comes up in 3 hours-ish from when we finish. So Pandemonium, you can have a nap, but come back and join us. Sina Gertz, lovely shot here. Now that is such a nasty hold. And she's figure 4ing off that side pool. I'm not sure if it's metal or resin, but whatever it is, it's not very nice. Where do you buy holds to practice on as ice climbers?
Actually, we buy most of them in the comps. Mm-hmm. Like you meet people that sell them and you buy them, but you also can buy them by internet.
Okay. And I suppose coming to different countries, because the holds are modified, aren't they? Like there aren't standard holds. Setters can change them if they want.
Yeah. There's not. They want to change it, but it's not done yet. Mm-hmm. Like they want to do like a place where you can check which holds can be in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like it's in the IFC.
Yes. Yeah. There's a catalogue there. Yeah.
Yeah. But now there's nothing. They can put whatever they want.
Yes, which is, it has its pluses and minuses, like that. So people from the Netherlands are still watching. Marco, Ireland is still watching. Fantastic. Well done, Europeans. Sina Gertz made quick work of that figure 4 to make the tenuous move up to the small hold. Gets in the high clip. And she's got an ice barrel to come. Looks left, looks right, buries the axe. And moves those feet through nicely. Yeah, that's fast from her. Yeah, the lead final is starting at 3 o'clock Korean time, and we are going to finish this semi-final round about 12 o'clock. So yeah, about 3 hours, 3.5 hours to reset if you're watching. Sina Gertz has plenty of time, around about 3.5 minutes. And shaking out hard here. Suddenly slowing down just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like she's getting pumped. But, I mean, it's normal in those big ropes.
Yeah, it's completely horizontal through here. If you think IFSC overhangs are extreme, you should see what these guys have to climb through. It's a real roof. And although she's looking pumped, she's still making progress. This is this tricky clip. We saw Marianne just hanging off just the tools. Vivian manages to get a left pick in. Right. Into the next ice barrel. Straight into another fig 4.
That move was a bit risky because she escaped one barrel, and maybe you can leave your axe in the other barrel, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
It's a long move.
It was a big stretch. Well, yeah, you're right. She did skip an entire barrel there on the back. But it's worked for Sina Gertz. You can see the ice bar she didn't use by her left foot there. Right, into the wrap. This is the, well, for me, the scary set of moves here. You got to get this wrap, and most of the athletes haven't clipped from here, so they've clipped from the undercling. Just gives this big pendulum safe fall over to the left.
From this wrap, you can't move. If you move, you're out.
Ah, okay, so that's why they're not clipping from there. Okay. Although she's fig fouring it and clipping, so forget that. Sina Gertz does the impossible. Unbelievable. So wow, the trust she must have had in that. That shows some confidence from Sina here. Obviously feeling in form as she gets the Stein pull locked in. Okay, so I think we might be approaching another top here as well. Marianne did it, Shin did it. Can Sina Gertz do it as well? Oh, nearly didn't. That left foot popped off at the wrong moment. One clip to go, though. Does it on a fig four. She's so confident on these fig fours at the moment. Into the final jug, though. Should be pretty smooth sailing from here. Ice axe in the mouth. Makes the clip. Makes the tap. Good work. That's another top. So Sina Gertz got it done with ease there, leaving us just one final athlete to climb. Catalina Shirley will be up next. And a big smile from Sina's face. Pandemonium says they haven't watched ice climbing since Petra Klinger retired, but the Swiss team seems strong again. Yes, I talked to Petra about whether she would come back, and I think it would just require so much training for her that I think she might be a bit over comp climbing training at the moment. You never know. It'd be great to have her.
Yeah, it's actually quite different from usual climbing, from sport climbing, and you need to be so focused at least 3 or 4 months a year to be good at these comps.
Do you sport climb and boulder as well as ice climb?
Yeah, not boulder, just sport climbing, but yeah, I am all the year training, so different. I do alpinism also.
No way, okay. So you're not just doing one type of climbing?
No, I do everything I can.
Wow, you're an all-rounder. I'm impressed. Well, we're looking at this ice waterfall in the background. See, I want to go and climb that thing. That looks cool to me. And I think you can come and climb that. I think it's...
Yeah, I think this was made before the structure. I mean, the park was about climbing, ice climbing, and those... But after that, they built the structure for the comps and all that.
Yes, it's a artificial ice wall. So they spray water from the top, that freezes. So Catalina Shirley, and she's got a huge amount of support online from people watching in the States. She is our final athlete out. There's a bit of a delay going on. I think it's a technical incident. I can see setters staring up at the wall. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. But there is Team USA out in force. And if you didn't see the USA dance last night during the speed competition, it means you've got to go back and watch it. It was beautiful. Coordinated, clearly planned, stealing the show away from the athletes. And I like the signs. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I think there's some kind of a technical incident, but it looks like the belays are now ready. So Catalina out next. The men, of course, have done. And the men and women's speed finals was last night. You can go and watch that for free on the UIAA YouTube channel. Okay, so entering the stage, our final athlete. Lots of support online. Katie Shirley says, go Cats. Marilee saying that Cat works with us at base camp. So stoked to see her climb. Yep. And she won speed last night, didn't she, Cat? So there's one gold medal already. But just to let you know, everyone, bit of inside information. Last night she was saying she had a bit of a sore shoulder. Now, I'm not sure how that injury, or if it is an injury, has developed over the night, but certainly she was struggling with something last night. So fingers crossed that she's okay here this morning.
It's crazy how these people can do speed climbing and lead climbing.
I know, right?
Like, they are so different and you need to train for both. So,
yeah, absolutely. It's such a different sport. And the ones who do both, it's almost double the amount of training that you have to do. All right, so Cat underway here. So, a little bit of a slip there, but no problem. 6:30 on the clock here. We'll keep an eye on that leaderboard on the left. Sina Gertz leading the way after that top and the higher place position. And you can, I don't know what you think, Javier, but I can tell if an athlete's looking good by the way they're moving. You know, sometimes you look quite stiff, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, when you are nervous or you don't know exactly how to climb a route, you look so different than, like, for example, Luna Ladevan. He looks so confident, he goes fast. And it's more about don't stopping, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when you are nervous, you do a move and then stop, don't know how to do, then react. And people who know what they are doing, they just go for it.
They just have a flow, don't they, to their movements, yeah. And I think Catalina, or Cat, should we call her Cat or Cat? Chat, what would she prefer? I haven't actually asked this. Is it Cat? I'd like Cat. Cat's easier to say. Can I say Cat? We'll call Cat until I'm told not to. But yeah, Cat's kind of got that flow at the moment. She's looking confident on the moves, committing to everything. Not sort of, you know, sometimes you check and check again. She's not doing that. She's just, yeah, confident on her tools at the moment. But some tricky moves on those ice barrels to come. Very pumpy moves. Just making sure she's dropping those arms down to get rid of a bit of pump before this big move. I can call her Cat, according to Melody. Awesome. Thank you, Melody. Okay, well, Cat does rest. She's got that triple handle too, but similar to yours, more of just a resting grip. Rather than Emir's big handle she has on hers. So into the ice barrels for Cat. A little bit of trouble with this clip, but gets it in eventually. And now, good holds if you can find them to come. Gets the right axe in. Legs over. Can she keep this confidence that she clearly had on the bottom of the route through this ice barrel section? There's plenty of slack. It's just rope drag causing her some problems there. The tunes ramp up a bit as that Cat moves through the first of the ice barrels into the second now. These sausages up on the wall. Finds the hold around the corner. Now, will we see an ice barrel skip like we did before? She's working that axe in. The ice would have been a little bit brittle up there now because it's changed the more athletes have touched it. You've got to be careful. Although it's a big hold, you don't want to be on the wrong part of it.
Yeah, normally the holds get better when more people go past the section.
So Cat's going to do a double clip from this position. Looks over to the right. Into the pocket. Legs over. Wiggles the ice axe free. Has a little look around the corner as she rotates in now. That's smooth work from Cat. 2.5 minutes-ish on the clock. So just plywood to come here. There's some pretty tricky moves. Michi is still watching from Liechtenstein. Good work from you. Very early in the morning in Europe. So Cat, for the first time, hesitates here a little bit. And we saw Sina clip on a fig four on this disgusting wrap.
But she has gone so fast.
Yeah, she has. Oh no, foot slip, pops, goes! But she's up in 6, so it should be final. She looks around for some kind of a confirmation of that. But we know it's enough for Cat in provisional 6. And with that, our competition comes to an end. But before we say goodbye, we will show you some results onto the screen in a second. And do remember, these results can change a little bit, but I haven't seen anything that I would say is an appeal. Here are the women's results. In reverse order, so Catalina Shirley down at the bottom. And this is our... Like I said, these haven't been updated yet, so we will try to get it. There we go. So update results. Wu Shin at the top. Sina Gertz after that. Marianne, Lorena, Emir, Catalina, Annetta, and Vivian are our top 8 athletes. They will climb again this evening. And as for the men, well, let's check out that as Catalina leaves the stage with what looks like a bit of a nosebleed there. For the men's, so this is our top 8 here. So this is our top 8 there. Mohamed Safradan leading the way in first. Benjamin Jorge Minchol Kim, Jonathan Brown, Virgil Devon, Jungan Lee, and Tristan Ladavaut make up our top 8. So they will be back. Javier, thank you so much for joining me here today. Lovely to meet you and talk to you properly. And good luck for the rest of the season. And I think we're going to be leaving you with a trailer from Thin Ice. Yes, we are. So we've got a trailer from our amazing documentary by the guys on Thin Ice. Enjoy that, and we will see you for the finals later on this afternoon. The sport of competitive ice climbing, fundamentally, is sport climbing with deadly weapons.
I don't know, there's something about it that makes us keep coming back.
It's a sport. Sport's brutal. The whole point in sport is that someone wins and someone loses.
Oh, she's in real trouble here. Look at the effort on her face. Shaking. Hits it but misses.
If you can win the lottery and how lucky you can be to win the lottery, I had exactly the opposite this week.
That's going to be gold. What a moment.
Again, using it a shot.
Oh my goodness. I should...
No!
My fingers weren't crossed hard enough.
I had my very, very first podium place on the World Cup.
Can she keep it together?
Surely not.
Oh my god, my shoulders hurt.
I know. This could be a top. It should be a top.
Yeah.
And it's going to be.
It's the first stop of the evening.
Marianne, I'd love to see her win a World Cup. She's got to at some point.
Not a little.